What is going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week. I hope you're having a great week. Have a great weekend as well. Welcome. We are back on Friday night. Here we are, the Infinity Equation. Thank you for you all for joining here. Uh, I hope you all having a great time already. Like, I see y'all chatting it up. Y'all are just going hard. Thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you. Once again, I can't do it without my co-host, Mr. Disemboweled Tim. How you doing, sir?
What goes on, Infinity Equation? Dante, what's going on, sir? So happy to be back here live on a Friday night, kicking it, talking action figures with an absolutely amazing guest. Can't believe we locked this guy in to come hang out and chat with us here on IE. If you're out there right now and you're watching, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. This is going to be an amazing conversation. I've been pumped about this all freaking day, and here we are. So let's get to it and see who this gentleman is hanging out down below.
Yes. And let's introduce our guests. Come on, give them that Goon Squad. Welcome, y'all, to Mark from Gridiron Studios. Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Man, that's an excellent intro, by the way. That thing rocks. Love it. Thanks for having me on, you guys. This is awesome.
Okay. That was done by my good friend, Mike Odom. He put the intro together. He's put all intros together for the show. Different iterations, so it's going through a couple of iterations, but hey, I love his work. He does some good work, and he's a good friend. Love everything he does.
The minute that theme song kicks in, I'm always thinking whoever's on, if they can see me while I'm doing it, I'm like rocking, I'm getting.
Oh man, I was in, man. I was all in.
I could have a crap day, I could be exhausted, whatever. And once that music hits, I'm like, damn, we're starting fresh. Let's talk toys. Good news.
Yeah, it had a good vibe, man. I was feeling the whole thing, man. I was in.
I wish I still had the old one, because the old one was really got everybody going. I love the old one. But folks, just a quick couple things before we get into it with Mark. I want to say thank you to you all who reached out to me, to my other co-hosts. Thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. I did not know this show meant that much to like a lot of you, and got a lot of you through the pandemic. So thank you. You had me you had my tears going. You never see the tears going, but you had my tears going. You pulled at my heartstrings, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much to everybody who reached out, who said don't stop the show, don't give up. So here we are. You got your wish. We're back. We're going, but there does come a little caveat with it. I probably will be taking a break after this show. So tonight's show will probably be the last Friday show until April, and then we'll still have Sunday show with IE Creators with High School Creation joining us as well. So we'll be talking about his new upcoming Kickstarter, the Wall XD, which is great. So if you want to tune in for that, it's great that you can. It's going to be something very, I think, as toy photographers, something you want to have part of your collection. And Mike's a great guy. It's always great to support him and what he does, because what he does, he puts his full foot into it. So there's no half-assing it with him. But again, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for getting us to almost 1,500 subscribers. Like, wow, I was like blown away. We're 2 away. We're just 2 away from 1,500. So if you know 2 people who tell them hit the subscribe button, I appreciate it.
At some point, Dante, whether it's live right now or on the playback, at least 2 people will be watching this who are not subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. Help out the channel. And people, don't panic, because I just sat here going, April? Here's the thing. It's March right now. That's only like 3 or 4 weeks away. So, like, it's not that long, So we will be seeing everybody's smiling faces very, very shortly, possibly on Fridays again. And you obviously have some great content you're going to get the opportunity to check out with Dante and some other co-hosts from other variations of the show. So be patient. It's all good.
Yeah. I just need some time to refresh, and I'm just going to kind of revamp the show just a tad bit. Nothing big, nothing major, but just a little revamp, Got to go through a little bit of rebuilding process, When your new show comes back, like if it's The Mandalorian, you have the same music, but then it's like, you got to change the story up a little bit. But,
actually my fault. I requested time off because I intend to come back in 4 weeks with 30 pounds lost, a 6-pack, benching about 300 pounds. So it's going to happen. Don't worry. I'm going to come back being buff. That's all my fault. So we're taking time off.
You all hear that? Hold him to it. Hold him to it.
Don't hold me to I have a pizza for dinner in the kitchen right now since my girlfriend's away on vacation. So I ain't losing all 30 pounds anytime soon, but it's all good fun.
Again,
Mark's
thank you all. Mark's just like, these guys are wild. He's like, I don't know about these guys. But thank you again. I appreciate each and every one of you. You all are awesome. Don't ever change. You all are great. But let's see who we got here in the chat real quick. We got Johnny Cooks and let's go Goon Squad. Adventure 78 evening, gentlemen. Greg Finstead, here we go again. Bert, woo woo. Don Marticciaro, Gridiron Gang and Goon Squad. Strident, hello everybody. Ab Nuggler, the infinity equation is eternal. Hey, we'll try to be. There's one day I'm going to retire and just be like, well, get too old for this, Riggs. So, you know. Anthony Romo, let's go, mofos. Johnny Stratos, hey, how's everyone doing tonight? We're good. Hope you're doing good, Johnny. Let's see who we got. Omar V, sup, everyone. Ratface44, yo, yo, yo. Go check out Ratface's reviews of his great figures that he's gotten. G.I. Joe, Valverse, he reviews it. So go check him out if you have not checked him out. Paul Morales, hello, everybody. Eddie Rodriguez, intros always get me hyped. Thank you. Bart says, well, I'm fabulous. Johnny Strauss says, I'm so glad to hear. Johnny Cook says, I'm happy that IE is still going full stream. Greg Miller says, what's up, everyone? Anthony says, my brother on the show. What up, Tim and Dante F. Markey? I guess you do know Anthony.
Oh, man. Tony follows me everywhere. No, he's one of my good buddies, man. He had to chime in for sure.
Well, we're glad you're here, Tony. Appreciate you being here. Omar says, caught you on Geek Dad Life, Dante. Great episode. Thank you. Yes, I was on with Geek Dad Life. Had a great time with Jay and John. It was awesome. It was very fun of a time. Got to talk with oh shoot, I forgot the gentleman's name, but he's the creator of Toy Collector magazine. Got to talk with him for a little bit, talking about the Biker Mice of March from Nacelle Toys coming out. So go check that out on Geek Dag Life channel. Very interesting. Some news
Mark,
coming out.
Have you heard of that magazine?
Which one was it?
Toy Collector.
Yeah, I mean, is that the same old one? I mean, I haven't seen a lot of those in a while, but I remember, back in the Toy Fair days and all that stuff.
Wizard World, Wizard.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not sure. I don't think it
like
is.
Toy Collector was one of them, but I don't know if it goes back that far.
I know it's. I think it might be a relaunch, but from what I understand, it's something they did bring back. And I know Archie, a good friend of the channel, who's probably going to be on anytime they said his name, he'll pop up. That's how it works. But I've heard nothing but cool things about it. I really want to check it out. And I think they made a post the other day that they had big news, and there was a picture of Barnes and Noble.
Yep.
Oh, nice. I know it'd be an enjoyable thing to go onto a freaking rack in Barnes and Noble and see a toy magazine again. That for sure.
Yeah. Yes. And so that was their big news. Nice. It was very awesome to hear. He announced that on Sunday as well. But please go check that out. Also, go check out me, Tim, Matthew, Jay Shot, who's getting his 10% from plugging this right now. Art G, Lago Figs. I was like, who else was on there with us?
There was quite a collection of talent that evening.
Exactly. That was on Monday. Go check out Matthew's channel. Subscribe there if you're not subscribed. They do Between Two Sentinels, and I did make a joke. I was standing between them. I was like, hey, I'm between two sentinels. Yeah. But go check them out. I had a good time with them. Go check out Unboxing Art. I was talking with him on Wednesday. Felt like I was doing like a full media tour this week.
That's what I said to you.
This is true.
Every single night something pops up. Dante will be on. I'm like, Dante's making the rounds.
Yeah. I didn't expect all that. But yeah, had a good time talking to Unboxing Art and Judd. So go check out that as well on Unboxing Art's channel. All right, so let's get through these real quick here. Greg says, "Cheers to Mark to GIS." Let's see. Bones PhD. The PhD candidate says, "What's up, everyone? This is awesome since I just got my first purchase at Gridiron Studios."
Nice.
Stratton says, "Welcome, Gridiron Studios." Don says, "Mark already has a bunch of my money and will soon be getting more." Organizing figures points out some accessories needed. Points out some accessories needs. What's going on, Greg? How you doing? Chad Kinsler says, evening, everyone. Bone says, "For sure. I'm looking at my ragtag group of dusters and seeing some great kits to add." Greg says, "Gridiron keeps tempting me with all those great offerings. There is one piece that would make me hit the tipping point and lose hundreds from my wallet."
We are here tonight for you to take that money and transfer it into that plastic. That's why I'm here. Buy some good stuff. It's here in your account. All you have to do is just move it here.
Over.
Yeah. It's so simple.
It's
exactly
an easy process.
See, they have the water, and you eat that pretzel. Like, man, these pretzels are making me thirsty. And they'd be like, "Well, we got some water for you since that pretzel's making you thirsty."
Oh man, we appreciate it. That's for sure.
Let's see. Anthony says, "What?" ML Series, what up, Goon Squad? Stand up. Yes. Benji says, "You need a holiday, sir." Yes, I honestly, like, I'm not taking an episode off. I've done all 149 episodes and more.
So Dante and Mark have that in common. Mark is busting his butt to give you amazing product at Gridiron, and Dante's been busting his butt to give you great content here at IE. And the man has deserved a break. For our wrestling watchers, much like John Moxley deserves a holiday. So at some point, everybody has to just take a break. But during that break, there'll be plenty else to watch.
But you know what? I don't have to I don't have to make myself bleed either for every week either, like John does. White Mike Jesus says, hello. Johnny says, "Thank you, Dante. We need you." I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Greg says, "No, Dante, nothing wrong with breaks or taking some Fridays off." Thank you. Eric Alfredable subscribed. Thank you. Blake with the first super chat says, "Thank you very much for the super chat. Just happy to see you back." I appreciate that. He says, "No, you." Bart says, "I'll make a fake account and get you there." You don't have to do that part, but I appreciate you. Grace says, "As a buyer of multiple Gridiron Studio products, let me say, sir, your products rock."
Thank you.
Johnny says, "Miss Grace wants a Friday night date." Yes, I'm sure she is probably. So in the light of that, she's like, "I'm happy to have you off on Fridays." She's like, "But I know you have fun doing it, so continue doing it." So the wife was happy with me coming back and doing it.
All hail the queen of the Infinite Equation podcast. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart.
Oh, she's listening. She was listening to the show every night before she then she'll knock out during the show sometime.
I can't wait to see her at a future live wrestling event like we all shared together at Temple. Hopefully down the road. That is true.
Yeah, she is down for some going to live wrestling events because her buddy is CM Punk. Stratton says, "Don't worry, I'll be there in April." Omar says, "There it is." Let's see. The Death Skull, you guys better look at subscribers. Oh, snap. All right. Thank you, Death Skull. I'm going to look at the subscribers right now. Let's see.
Well, Dante,
drum roll.
Remind everybody to go to Gridiron Studios. Check out the website. Not right now. Or do it on your phone. If you're watching on your television set, on your device, whatever they use, Roku, whatnot. What are the kids using nowadays? You can do that on your phone. And you might be like, "Holy smokes, that thing looks cool. I'm going to get that because I'm watching a show with the gentleman that makes it."
Look here.
And you get free stuff.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Especially this weekend. Can't wait to get to that. All right. Thank you. We got 15. We're at 15:03. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Y'all are awesome. Couldn't ask for a better crowd around the world. Because it's wild, like how much we're watching around the world. When I look at the analytics, I'm like, man, US, we're close, but it's like random countries I didn't know that even listen to us, even on like just like listen to the audio version of it. It's wild, just wild.
That one view you got from Antarctica, that was my vacation last month. I didn't tell you about. So I got special governmental privileges to go to Antarctica. So that was me. But yeah.
Dom says Dante needs a new ship. New ship for what? I don't have no ship, man. I ain't got no. Nah. Abnoga says Dante wishes come true. Does that mean if I wish hard enough, we'll get a 6-inch articulated Hanna-Barbera line? Hey, I'm wishing right with you. Wishing right with you. Emma says you hit 1,500. Congrats. Thank you. Greg says disavow would do just that, but it'll be a muscle suit.
That's right. Zachary Levi territory.
Omega Weapon says Dante is polishing up his Moth Cosby during the break. Moth Cosby never needs polishing up. It always goes up. It always gets better and better. Strand says 10 wants a power level 9,000. Maruda Robin, what's up, mother? I'm not saying that, sir. This is a family show. But thank you, Ruben. I appreciate you. That's one wild and crazy guy.
How do you let that guy on here?
I know. Thought they banned him like they did on Facebook. He's in YouTube jail.
You gotta get rid of Facebook, man. You gotta.
At this point, everybody comes in here. All right. Pokey said, Pokey 87, what's going on? Says happy Friday, Goon Squad. Let's see. Robert Diaz, what's going on? AOA for life. No, Robert, stop it. Not starting that tonight. Don says when Dante retires, I'm getting a cardboard cutout made to do the show. I'll make sure he'll be able to just to digitally make audio by then. Hey, you know what? You probably AI me at that point. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you, Dante. Thank you. Thank you. Jarhead said, let's keep this train rolling. Definitely. And finally got to the bottom of you and says, right, I'm not always able to make it to chat, but I had to for tonight. This message goes out to you, Dante. I'm glad you chose to stick around and continue the show. Need a slice of IE to brighten. Thank you. My life sometimes. Thank you. I thank you all. Thank you. Yeah, stop it. Because you're going to get me crying on this show. And I don't want Mark to see like, man, they really don't like this guy.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, because I mean, everybody, I start crying, I get everybody crying, and so
when I cry, man, it's not good.
Yeah. Tim starts crying. Yeah. Rafe says, "Thank you for the shout out, Dante. I really appreciate it. Glad you guys are back. Goon Squad for life." Ruben says, "Yo, Tony." Payne's toy sample says, "Hey, all, how you doing, Payne?" Greg says, "Don, when Dante retires, you will be able to get chat AI to take over the max." Yeah, that is very true. Descall says, I got to tuck my boy into bed later, my dudes. Thank you. You have a good night, Descall. Let's see. All right. Fourth says, just hopping in and say, what's up, Dante? Glad to see you're back, man. Unfortunately, I'm running errands, so I'm going to have to play catch up on the rewind. Hopefully, I can get back and catch it live. Take your time. We're always here. But thank you for stopping by. Brian King says, Heidi ho. Hey, Brian, how you doing? You know, it says, Dante, now you got to tell them the truth. You knew you couldn't finish the show without me ever appearing on live. That is very true. That's very true. You and Bart and Greg and Dom and Rob, you all always here giving me a hard time. Mike Weapon, Venger 78. Because I got to throw Venger in there because he's my Conan brother. We wait for Conan together. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. That's the whole Goon Squad. Four says Gridiron Studio products. By the way, that's what's killing me to miss this. I'm sorry. But if you have a question, just drop it in and we'll get to it for you. Robert says Dante needs to have me on the show. We get 1 million views guaranteed. Yeah, all you're gonna do is talk about AOA, that AOA wave. So no, that's not gonna happen. Ruben says I thought Mark everything he knows. Oh, I taught Mark everything. Brian says Gridiron's the best. All my Joes, big and small, have Gridiron. Nice. Brandon said just saw the 112 snipe set. Nice. D Blakes, one of my co-hosts on IE Creators, is here. How you doing? He says, hola friends. AZ Toy Hunters. Gil says, yo. I think we got everybody at this point. I won't. Thank you, Tony. I won't quit. AZ says, can't wait to see Gridiron at the next toy show. Oh, what's next? What's the next toy show?
We did some in Arizona. We kind of been hitting some of the Arizona ones.
Very nice. Greg says, Gridiron Studios making weapons for the weaponless DC figures now.
Oh yeah,
You can put Toddy Mac out of business, and you know what? I'm not going
somebody's got to
to
do
I'm not
that.
going to talk about Toddy. I'm not going to talk about Toddy tonight.
Mhm.
Thank you. Damn, you ain't have to, but thank you. I appreciate it. For the super chat says, Goon, i.e., never say die. Thank you. Man, you all really like missed this. Rome Rugged, how you doing? Says right, Infinity Equation to the wheels fall off. Good lord. Anthony says, I want to be on Infinity Equation. Can I get an invite? Sure. Tony, you're more than welcome.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. I'm trying. You got to keep the riffraff off this thing, man. You got to keep this thing nice.
What's that Star Wars? The Scum and Villainy or whatever.
Totally, man. He's a rough one, man. No, man. Tony's the guy. He knows it. He's my guy.
There you go. See, okay. So Mark Bass for you, Tony. You're cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Andrew in with the super chat says, "Did you watch Cocaine Bear yet?" Thank you for the super chat. No, I'm going to try to watch it this weekend. Hopefully this weekend. I did not feel like doing anything last weekend. I just felt like just chilling at home. All right. And Rasper, thank you. Helly Rasper says, Dante, you don't want to talk too much about the new Batmobile from Tiny Mac. Well, I'm going to talk about it. We'll see if we get to it. We'll see if we get to it. Because we have Mark here. We want to talk to Mark. So, Mark, thank you for joining us. It's great that we can have you on. In my rush decision to cancel the show, I was like, no, that would be disingenuous to you and to my other guests who are already playing the schedule. So I did not want to do that to you. I wanted to everybody get the chance to ask you questions and get a little bit more about you and Gridiron Studios as well.
Oh man,
so
we're so thankful to be invited on here, man. I think we've heard so many good things about you guys. It just made sense. I was like, man, we need to get on here and talk some accessories and some toys, man.
Definitely. But thank you. I didn't know we got around those corners of the earth.
Yeah, man. You guys are getting out there.
Yeah. I always feel like Golem. My precious. Where's my precious? Always hiding in the dark.
Oh, yeah. By the way, a little shout out to Sean. I'm sure he's watching, man. Thanks for hooking us up.
Yes. Thank you, Sean. Yes. Thank you. You were very instrumental in making this happen. So thank you very much. If you catch us on the replay, thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, so Mark, for those who do not know about you, I guess give everybody a little bit about background about you.
Yeah, so I mean, I know most people have heard the story, but I'll give you the rundown for guys who haven't. We as far as Gridiron goes, I've been in the toy industry about 25 years. Owned a company called Build-A-Rama, which was kind of the mainstay for toy diorama products for a long time, especially through that whole 90s, 2000s military toys. We did like sandbag. We had 500 products in like destroyed walls and buildings and all that stuff. But it was all silicone, casting, a lot of really laborious, items. And so we had kind of gotten to that point where we were, I was definitely, I had this little itch, man. I had been an actor earlier on in my life. And so I went back to LA, spent about 6-7 years trying to, get that all going again. And so I took a break from Build-A-Rama. And during that time, I had fun with acting. That was a blast. It's part of my soul, man, for sure. But the Gridiron kind of came about by, we were at this point where we were actually not in Arizona at the time, but my one partner and son, my two boys are my partners in our company, and that's Quaid and Colin. And Quaid was just getting out of school with his master's in industrial design. And we had that talk about, are you going to make appliances or do you want to make some cool stuff? Because I've got an idea, and I'd been in that kind of world for so long that I knew that there's always these little niches, right, that you can kind of crawl into. But with the weapons, and G.I. Joe had just kind of launched, and, we all know what happened there with the weapons. It was just a wide open door for us to kind of pull everything together. And so my other son, he's kind of the IT, he's kind of the brains behind the mechanical side of Gridiron. He basically runs all the production, the machines, all the 3D printers and all that. So when we kind of were combining the technology and all this experience, Gridiron was really what came out of it all. We actually, the funniest part of the story is we opened a shop not even knowing what our product was. My son was just graduating. We're like, we need a place to build some stuff because we were model makers anyway. We just didn't know what we were building. And we had always done like freelance work and building, we did an 8-foot tall juggernaut for a comic shop up in Utah. And we did, a full life-size, Quaid had done a full life-size Iron Man that was fully animatronic. I mean, just crazy stuff. And a lot of helmets, a lot of one-up stuff. But I had this, I was always going back to Joe and, man, doing a miniature weapon and just trying to bring something to market that hadn't really been done. And I know there's a lot of great artists out there. There's a lot of really talented guys that are working out of their garages, small offices, trying to make some 3D parts. And they've done a great job for years kind of holding on to that. Where we kind of came in was we were going to try to develop a kind of a proprietary blend of resin that could be flexible enough and still be rigid. And we took about 6 months really kind of just prototyping and R&D and we got it, man. And once we got it, we knew we could come to market with something that really hadn't been done. And that's really what happened. And so we applied finish. We applied really nice, finishes to our products. So that way, when it got to you, you didn't really know if it was injection molded or if it was 3D printed. That was the goal.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Can I ask, was it TH79 that was added in there?
No, that's the funny. That's what everybody asks. Yeah.
So let's talk after the show.
Not like I'm going to tell you any of it, but yeah.
No.
You can't give the ingredients to the secret sauce. You got.
I'm not over here making. I just need it for some other stuff that I'm making.
Well, you know who to call.
That is
so yeah. That was kind of the thing, man. Once we had figured all that out, I had been already in toys, so I knew marketing. I knew how we were going to kind of break into that particular scale. But it was interesting because we thought, I talked to Quaid and I'm like, man, if you can model an AK-47 receiver, we have a business. It was that simple. And he went on and in a day popped out this beautiful receiver that's just so realistic. And you guys will get to know Quaid along the way. He's not one to be coming on these shows, but he's really he's the brains behind the models that we make. So if you really appreciate what Gridiron's doing, we all have our steps. Colin and I and Quaid all kind of do this thing from a different angle. But Quaid's really the master behind the model itself and getting that thing to be just, otherworldly. It's really just something that's so realistic that you can't believe that it's being 3D printed. So, right. We're grateful for what his talents are for that. Sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you let them know that they're more than welcome to come on the show too.
Absolutely. We'll get them on here. I'll drag them.
Definitely. So it's great, like from the background that you came from, knowing that you have that background for making, being in the toy industry, and then seeing like there was a missing hole in there for the weapons accessories, just that in particular, because I think as most 3D printers like us, and then I know Damien's here as well. It's nice to have like those creators out there who are in that creative space who are making the stuff that people want and desperately need. Like, hey, the good friend of the show, Damien Art, he makes some great, he makes, stuff, he's awesome, very awesome. Damien makes great signs that have with your figure collection. There's always something that somebody's making out there that will set off you just like, that goes well with my collection that I need.
Oh yeah. So we feel very, in fact, man, we feel very, we feel like we're in very good company. The other artists that are out there, we appreciate what they're doing. there's some of these guys. I mean, Mark II Designs, all these guys go way back,
Yep.
and they've plowed a path that was really good, and it really gave strength to a third party reputation, right? That it wasn't just, oh, that's a third party.
Right.
It almost became its own category, which I thought was where we kind of fit in. I think at the perfect time where I think what we could bring wasn't what I was seeing. So it felt like we were bringing something different to the whole package, you know? I don't view that because really, man, I don't ever even feel like we're competing with anybody. I feel like we try to share the pie, right?
Right.
I don't want to make something that somebody else has already made. That doesn't make any sense, right? If it's something if it's been made and maybe we can find a way to improve on it or to give a different finish to it, maybe we'll try that. But we kind of made our name at this point in loadouts, right? That was kind of the big when we started doing the Duke loadout and the command loadouts and really making specific character loadouts and creating a finish that wasn't just an unpainted product that you would have to deal with, but we could bring all those elements together. And then when you got the bag and you bought the whole package, it might be more expensive than what you would get unpainted, but you were done. You could put it on your figure and you had Alpine in your mind, right? And hopefully, if Gridiron's done their job right, we gave you something a little extra that made you think, hey, maybe this is what Alpine could have been, or a different look at him.
And that's the coolest thing is that you're giving collectors options.
Yeah.
There's nothing better in the collecting community than having options, whether it's accessories, whether it's figures, whatever it might be. And I think it's really cool how you had mentioned, other third party, people that are out there, because it seems almost as if, each of you inspires the other. Like maybe you'll see something somebody does and you want to replicate that, but you're like, you know what? That makes me realize that this is something collectors want. And I think anytime that, a consumer, a collector can see that the company that we want to support appreciates, what we're looking to find and that they actually care about the consumer, is when you get that personal connection. And once you have that personal connection, good things can happen for sure.
Dude, you hit that right on the head. In fact, I think anybody that's dealt with us on a customer service level, I hope they've come away with that feeling, because we spend a lot of time and energy trying to make everybody feel comfortable about what, with what they're buying. And we understand the expense, man. I mean, you hear it all the time. Gridiron's expensive. Well, you think about a Lamborghini's expensive, a Corvette's expensive, but you either buy that or you buy something else, right? So if you're in the market to buy that type of product, that's where we fit in. We're not trying to compete on a lower price point, because what we put into the product is worth it, and we know it, And I think most of those people that have gotten our product before, they get it. They understand that what we're doing is something different, and we're trying to bring the customer service to that, so that way we keep a long-term relationship, and that's our number one aim for this.
That's good. Yeah, you always want to keep that Bill had that good relationship with customers.
Oh, I love it, man. We're all toy guys for the most part, so I love making friends with all these guys that are coming in. So as many as I can talk to, I try to talk to, and so on.
Yeah. We got super chat here real quick from the Island Misfit Toy Collectors. Thank you. It says Mark, Quaid, and Colin are the real Mars industry.
Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot, man. It means a lot.
There you go. And just real quick, we got some people jumped in. Happy Accident, what's going on? Toy Connections and Island Misfit Toys Collectors. Thank you very much. And we got another super chat here from White Vegeta. Let's see. Says, thank you very much. Says Mark, I would like to see you take on the classified Manta, the Windsurfer Classical, like the vintage O-ring.
I like that idea. That would be cool. That's definitely within our wheelhouse. If anybody knows, we did the Howitzer last year, and we can definitely make something like that happen, probably.
There you go. All right. Let's see if we got any questions here from the audience. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with these, but they were just going so fast. Hard to Find Toy says Gridiron best in the biz.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Real quick, Hard to Find Toy. Shout out to you, sir. Again, I'll never forget. You helped me out that Sergeant Slaughter. Thank you, man.
There you go. Yeah, Hard to Find Toys is the best place to get your toys if you need some stuff. Trust me.
Very good.
Shop Gold, what's going on? How you doing? Let's see. Greg says, I think the quality makes it so much worth it, and what you buy can be used for multiple figures through years.
Yes.
Anthony says the 50 cal in effect. Ooh.
That's the big dog today for sure.
Yes. It seems like when no disrespect. I want to get it, but every time it's like something else is coming to take my money. It's like, Mexico, hey, guess what? Mexico's like, hey, guess what? Superman dropped. I'm like, dang it, Mexico.
Come on, get your priorities straight.
I know. You see somebody was dropping something, Mexico. Like, can you just like hold on for a second?
Oh man, no man. You know, I like to feel like we are. I really, to be honest with you, man, how I view Gridiron is, I like to hope that we're the icing on the cake. You know, I mean, it's like as much as we love our toys and our action figures, right? I'd like to think that when I'm buying a figure, and even like Mezco, I mean, those aren't cheap figures; those are expensive figures. So if I'm buying something like that, and I enjoy those, I would like to put the best thing on it, and I would like to make it come up to the speed, at least free floating barrels, and I want to see all those details and the breakouts and all that stuff. That's not for everybody, but that's what I like. And so what we try to do is present that to a group of collectors. And fortunately, we've had a really good following from that, which has been really cool.
That's good to hear. I'm happy for you because every time I look at your Instagram, it's like you are thriving very well.
Been crazy.
And it's like every time I turn around, it's like, hey, we got something new coming out that y'all gonna like. And it's like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, but
just pull the trigger, man. Just pull the trigger.
And I think it's a great analogy you used right there. The icing on the cake. You have Hasbro, Mattel, McFarlane. God forbid I say McFarlane, whatever it might be. But you have these different companies that the emphasis is not always on the accessories. Their emphasis might be on the figure, the buck, the articulation. That's right. So unfortunately, there are times where we do, being positive here, we do get some accessories that are not quite that impressive. So to be able to have a figure we really, really, really enjoy on our shelf, but be able to add in those different flourishes, those different weapons, those different things that really just make it pop. Or again, obviously we're living in a day and age where, action figure photography is just so huge, such a poignant topic. And, we have some just wonderful artists out there doing amazing pictures, on their Instagram pages. So for them to be able to get a figure they like, then put a weapon in its hand that just really makes it special is where Gridiron really comes in.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I can't even tell you how that is the ultimate goal. Like, I mean, it's like when we sit down and have our production meetings every week, we move, as most people know, we move very fast. It's kind of our pace. It's how we operate. We're definitely not, we don't, it's hard to say. We don't really take a break, but we do. We try to find times to get in there, and we're a family-run business, so we'll usually take it all together. But man, when we're running, and when we our weeks are usually filled with we have a couple weeks out where we're doing production meetings and trying to get the concepts of what we're trying to make. And man, every time it's the thought of how can we make the figure better, not how cool can we make this? It's really how do we make the figure the best it can be. So if you added this to it, would it enhance the figure? That's the goal,
That's great.
Yeah. So in that so I have a question before, because I know some of the viewers have a couple questions. When you do those meetings, are you looking at what's already out, or like what may be coming out ahead of time, and saying how can it enhance this figure? Like, let's say if it was like a new Punisher or a new G.I. Joe figure, like, hey, what can we do to enhance this character with what we want to design and go with? Is that what you kind of go with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I can tell you when we're in the mindset of classified, we really, from the beginning, it was kind of funny because, what really I think broke us out of the mix was we did that communications pack. and it happened to come right at the same time that those breakers dropped. And then there was this,
you remember that.
we all got this kind of this understanding that that breaker didn't come with anything. I mean, it didn't make sense to us, right? We knew what he was supposed to look like, and he didn't have it. And so it was like an easy thing. We just happened to have the right set at the right time, and then it just started dawning. The light bulb went off. We need to make sure that any figures that are coming, we're thinking through their loadouts. And so, yeah, that goes. But like this week, for example, so this has been in the works now. This almost a month. We've been on this. For those that don't know, we launched today the Barrett, the 50 cal, the Barrett styled sniper. And it was part of our elite operator. Yeah, right there. So that's part of our elite operator set, or our elite operator series. It means every one of these weapons are done to the absolute best that we have the knowledge to make it. The most functions, as many breakout parts as we can do. There's a CNC, the custom foam insert, and a weapon case. And so every set in this elite operator series comes like this.
That looks
this week.
That looks freaking gorgeous, by the way. Like,
yeah, thank you, man.
That's like John Wick, like just grabbed on the back of his freaking truck. Like that's insane.
Totally. Well, it's funny because that weapon is literally it's like its own figure. In scale, that thing stands about 5 feet tall. So you got to think, I mean, to develop this weapon with all the moving parts, it's basically an action figure on its own. So we have a lot of, just gun enthusiasts, collectors. We were at a show this last weekend that we were selling them just to a gun collector. So it's interesting. Yeah. But that's kind of where we're at on those. I mean, like when we made this, I guess my point to that is this Barrett, this 50 cal was really set up as a standalone that can be applied across that scale. So whenever we do those kind of weapons on the elite weapon or the elite operator series, we're just making sure that that's the best possible weapon we can make. So there's never any question like we cut corners or. I mean, this thing has, and people don't even know it yet because I haven't released the animation. This thing has a steel reinforced barrel. There's literally a steel rod inside the barrel. So you'll never have any sag or heat elements that'll, drape the barrel. There's literally a round. One of those 50 cal BMG rounds actually fit into the mag. So you can actually have your figure putting a round in the mag.
Stop it! Stop it!
It's nuts, man. That whole set is the best we've ever done.
And so I have to ask a random question. I apologize, it's a silly one. Who does your product photography? Because the pictures of the product look amazing.
Yes.
Is there somebody that you reach out to? Do you do it yourself?
It's me. Yeah, I do all the photos.
I was gonna say, please don't say Ruben, because if you say Ruben, I'm gonna go to his house and take the stuff.
we all know what that looks like. No, Ruben's my guy, man. He's my guy.
It looks again. Well, kudos to you, sir, because again, just seeing these photos, I'm like salivating. Like you seeing these different figures holding the different weaponry, just the way they're posed, and I mean, obviously, you're putting a lot of time and effort into making sure that the product translates to the consumer as well as you can. And it's definitely a home run.
Oh, thank you, man. I take a lot of pride in that part. That's a pretty big part of my responsibilities, at Gridiron. And I can't tell you how important I find the photography to be, because when I'm taking a shot, it's like this will be attached to this product for the life of the product. So right. I want people to recognize really what we're doing. And when I see all the work that Quaid and Colin are putting in, and everybody in the shop, everybody puts all this work in to make these sets so beautiful. And then if I was to take a really crappy shot, that doesn't stick with me. So
yeah, absolutely.
I like to, I like to represent it the way it should be represented.
Well, and again, like a lot of people watching here, might do their own YouTube videos or, whatever. And you can have the best product out there. But if you don't represent it, whether it's a thumbnail or whether it's a product shot, like you want to obviously bring the consumer's eye to that item and make them want to see more about that. And just looking at these photos as Dante pulls them up, it really just draws you in to want to see more. And whether it's, click the button to see the next photo or, click on something else on the website, you do a fantastic job of obviously, bringing that time and that care into those photos for the consumer to want to see more about it.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, that set has some, I hope that when people get this in their hands, they'll be able to recognize certain things. Like Quaid actually designed a lens that fits into the scope. So there's literally colored lenses that are put into the scope that have an etching of the crosshairs. Mm-hmm. So if you zoomed into that picture, you'd see the etching of the crosshairs in the scope lens. And it's a trip how he did that. I still don't understand. But it's crazy stuff what's going on there. But man, I tell you, I think, well, like, especially with this weekend, this is you just posted that, our little March Madness. This is our March promotion, and we are running, this was the big drop for the weekend. Now, the cool part is a little, I guess, exclusive sneak peek for you guys, is we are doing 3 colors of that 50. So every day during the promotion will be another release of a different color. And I'll show you. I don't know if the light's pretty horrible, but at least you get a little sneak peek.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
So that's the desert. So we did
that looks,
and that's with the green lens in there.
Can you just throw your hand up behind that figure? Like hold up and put your hand behind it so it may focus a little bit more. There we go. Wow, that looks great.
That looks so amazing.
And again, like perfect color for that figure.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Quick questions.
Get it.
Okay. So why are you showing it? So you said this weekend there will be the 3 different colors. Will other colors be back up for as available later on, or is it just this weekend? It was just the 3 different colors.
No,
available?
They'll be on the catalog. So yeah, you don't have to worry. Especially, come on, Dante. I know you're going to take your time. So they'll be on the catalog, man. No worries. And we're going to have all 3 colors. So it's basically today. And, with our promotion, there's a free weapon, and every one of these weapons is an original variation or a new design for us. So most of the time with our freebie weapons, they're either a model we've done, but this time we've really, Quaid's gone over to beyond to bring 3 different models that people really haven't seen completely. Nice. So in every order, 1 per customer, each day you make an order through the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you'll get a random one of these weapons per day. If you order all 3 days, you get all 3 weapons.
Oh, very nice. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, you folks,
you
get your money.
So it's basically the black. So it's the black set today. It's the OD green tomorrow, and the desert tan on Sunday.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Exciting stuff.
Can't wait. We got some couple questions here from the audience. The Island Misfit Toy Collector says the 2 main lines I collect are Joe Classified and Gridiron. Just picked up that Elite Operator set.
Awesome.
Shop Go says, who would love to have some classic World War II weapons? We make some interesting picks.
Totally. We have a few of those. They're in there. We did an MG34, and we did a Thompson. We've been trying to creep them in there. So and we just for your the viewer, we really, that's a big love of mine. So we're pushing to bring more World War II stuff in for sure.
And I have heard that, just being online and, different podcasts and, listening to consumers, there definitely is a lot of people out there looking for more of that World War II era, sort of weaponry and figures and things of that nature. Yeah. Obviously, what we're getting right now is a lot more modern stuff. So, you mentioned earlier on, with the great insight you're providing, the different niches that are out there for collectors, that definitely seems like one that is out there as a sub-genre to what people are looking for. So that's awesome. You're starting to address that. And that, again, that your finger's on the pulse of the collector like that.
We're trying to. I mean, it's hard with production because we did like a Colt 45, like a cowboy revolver, right? And it's a beautiful weapon, but there's not a lot of applications to it. But we still will add that to the catalog. We're not some things we won't touch if they just seem so obscure, but we try to push that limit where I feel like a Colt 45 can go on a lot of different figures. Depends on what I can put that on Duke if I wanted, right?
Right.
And then we did a Winchester, we did a mare's leg. So we've done some Western weapons also. We'll be growing all those ranges will continue to grow for sure.
So real quick question for you, Mark. I know we have fans with questions as well that are in the chat, but when you see, you mentioned having your monthly or your weekly meetings with the team, when you see a movie announced, say like the new Indiana Jones movie, we're obviously getting Hasbro figures in a 6-inch scale with them. Would you see a trailer like that and see that and go, okay, this is taking place, post this era or during this era, what can we find? What can we get? I see a smile and say, oh, you're thinking about something,
Oh, yeah.
but you see that and you're like, okay, what can we do with this?
Totally.
Nice.
Oh yeah. There's a lot we can do. we've already been charting these things. And I think, cause I think that 6-inch figure line looks good. I think once I get my hands on it, I can really wrap my head around it.
Right.
But I think it looks good so far. So, I don't mean to sound skeptical because those guys are doing a great job. And, Lenny does a great job on those Joe figures. So I know they're putting the work in. I just, accessory wise, there's a bunch of stuff we can do in there.
Yeah.
So,
and again, and no slight on those
definitely.
people, because again, we understand, from what limited understanding we have in the toy community, I don't obviously exist in that area of people who make toys. But again, like they're most often focused on the figure, the articulation, and I think a lot of times when they're factoring in their budgets for their waves, whatever it might be, the accessories probably aren't as essential in a lot of cases. So for you to see that and say, hey, like the figure looked great, the line looks great, but we can add this. And as you mentioned, put that icing on the cake. That is so awesome to have that, to know people can reach out and say, I want the perfect insert character here. This
Right.
makes it the perfect character.
Well, to add to that, I can tell you it's interesting because, we've heard, we hear a lot of, I guess I don't want to say it to the most extent, like there's a lot of trolls, right, that'll really hammer Hasbro and all these toy companies. But the reality is like especially when it comes to accessories, like detailed accessories like what we produce, it isn't possible to injection mold those. It's just not possible. We are in the process right now, and I can't reveal who we're working with because there's going to be an announcement fairly soon.
Okay.
We're going to be doing the accessory line for a line of figures. We're going to be doing the accessories that go with the figure. Now, they're going to be injection molded. So we're going through this heartache right now, right? There's only certain things you can do. So as we're going through it with the company that we're working with, it's making it very clear to me why we exist and why we'll probably always exist. Because with injection molding, like that picture you're showing right there, that gun's not possible without it breaking into a bunch of different parts. And even then, that foregrip, you're not going to injection mold that ever. So we're excited to reveal who we're working with, but the cool part to know is we're seeing the difference between the injection molded process, and I've been familiar with it, most of my career, but it's weird to see just how dumbed down they have to make the accessories. They just can't do what we want them to do, and that's coming from us with the factories in China. So I would just tell everybody, just rest assured, we will continue to make the weapons that we make. We're never going to stop that. We know that's our main core element, is to bring the best weapon possible, the best accessory possible.
And I think that's really great, Dante, for our audience to hear, and Mark, because as you mentioned, there are a lot of people who, will obviously take exception with different things with these bigger companies, these billion-dollar companies. So it's important for people to understand that's insight coming from a toy maker. There's only certain things they can do. So it's important to hold these companies accountable and say, hey, do the best you can. There's, as you're saying, there's a glass ceiling to that. They can only do so much. So
now
it's good.
Well, that being said, I'm not going to let Hasbro off the hook for putting miniature Nerf guns in the package. That's not acceptable.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
There's certain levels of that,
and you're absolutely right, and that's where the toy community as a whole, can obviously say like, hey, that's not good enough. Like I won't name names regarding action figures, but when I look on the back of my shelf here, I'm looking at some Marvel Legends or other things or whatever it might be. And I'm like, wow, that weapon looks very contrived. So, obviously there's things they can do better. But again, having a third-party company who is focusing on making the best of the best is fantastic for the toy community. And it pushes those other companies to try to be better, which is good too.
Yeah. And we hope we've had something to do with that. We've tried to show them. I mean, I've had meetings with some of these companies, at Comic-Con, and it's interesting to see how, like we get a ton of feedback, and not so much anymore, but when we first came out, when people were complaining about price, it was, you need to have these injection molded. You need to go make sure these are injection molded. And I don't think they understood what fight we were fighting against, because we were fighting not to injection mold for this very reason, is that if we took these and cut steel with these, we're going to have a cheaper price, a more affordable price, but you're going to get a far inferior product to what we make now. So is that what you want? Because that seems to be not really the thing you're looking for,
Exactly. All right, so let's see. Chad says Gridiron is the cream of the crop. Murata Ruber says some people buy Toyota, some buy Lexus. Bart says, being a radio guy in the Air Force, I need more radio stuff for my Joes.
It's coming, man. We got the base radio, we got the pack radio, we got, we're working on it. We're working on it.
There you go. Greg says, Gridiron question: your flight helmets are awesome. Any thoughts of having a visor up or movable option?
Yes, definitely. We kind of hit that. Those helmets all kind of dropped right around Top Gun's drop, right? And so there was this kind of themed, Top Gun in the flight helmets. But we just need to come back to it and start getting some other variations. I'm glad you chimed in with that, because I'm always looking for. We drive our entire direction on what the response we get from everyone.
Yeah. Super chat from Alexander L. Thank you very much. Says more Star Wars, please.
Oh, you're gonna like Monday.
Ooh. Was that just a tease that I heard?
You're gonna like Monday. If anybody, I haven't talked about this yet, but we have our mashup Mondays. Okay. So Mondays, we love for everybody to chime in on our site on Mondays just to see what's going on, because we're creating some like crazy concoctions of weapons using our library and some kind of creative angles to the weapons, but we're using the same philosophy that they did in the original movies, making props. We're a prop company. We've been making props 1-to-1 for a long time. So all we did is use all these prop model making kind of techniques to create miniatures that aren't necessarily realistic, but they can be used in other universes, right? And so the Mashup Mondays on our site, we actually have a category called Mashups. And all that whole category is designed to do is to create kind of a sci-fi element, sci-fi fantasy element, that where we can't, where I don't want to have any limits to how that design is happening. In fact, those designs, so I usually am the one that's designing the mashups for Monday. So I do all those mashups in the system. I usually make Quaid cringe almost every week. I just chop the hell out of all of his stuff. And then we create, like we did the 4-barrel grenade launcher this last week.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
so that's where we're really trying to push the limit, where it's realistic, it's made with realistic weapons, but it's creating something kind of like what we're used to, man. We're, look at the Jawa rifle, right, in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize what that was derived from. That was such a cut down of a World War II weapon, and that's the kind of stuff we want to be producing. So on Monday, I have a really Star Warsy themed weapon coming.
You mentioned crazy creations, there. I'm starting to you guys the mad scientists. That's so awesome. Like you're looking at it like, like the rest of us are playing checkers, you're playing 3D chess.
That's
like,
totally
you're like, oh, the Mandalorian debuted on Wednesday, but you were thinking that like 6 months ago, whereas we're like thinking that now, but you're like, oh, we got something for you on Monday, folks.
Totally.
Yeah.
And be thinking Mando, be thinking, so it's going to be fun on Monday, I think.
Nice.
Oh, I definitely can't wait. I'm excited now. Greg says, Mark, very serious question. Can you make new heads for Falcon and Cover Girl?
Dude, there's some guys doing some great work on that already. I mean, I think for us, so we're a hard edge model company, right? Quaid designs some of the best hard edge models in the industry. So it's organic models. I do more organic sculpting, but we just don't want to put in, how do we put it? If we start doing helmets or if we start doing heads, that requires some pretty intensive paints. We're not a business that puts out unpainted product, so it never makes sense. If we were to sculpt heads, we would have to paint them, and then that creates a whole nother animal, right? So we can do helmets. We can do full face, helmets that are a hard edge model, and that's what we're good at. So we try to stay in the arena that's what we do, And I look at Dom's. There's some really nice heads out there right now.
Yeah, like I don't know if you can see this real good, but let me see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've said, Greg, I've said on my on Instagram and Facebook, I am selling the Falcon heads. I just can't paint to save my life. That's all it is.
Totally, and I know there's a lot of that's why we get the request a lot, because everybody wants a painted head.
Right.
We're just not there yet. I think our production would take some serious hits if we had to sit down and really paint eyeballs.
That's the hard part. Like, I can't.
Wait, you're painting eyeballs, are you? So
no eyeballs. No eyeballs.
Wait,
painting those eyeballs.
I always said it like Blazing Saddles. He's like, this is my hand. He's like, this is how steady my hand is. He's like, all right, but this is the hand I shoot with.
Totally. Great movie.
Great reference. Yep.
I love that movie. Love it.
Me too.
The Island Misfit Toy Collector says, I can't wait to see what extras Gridiron makes for RoboSkull Mark II.
Oh, yeah.
Greg says that Barrett, awesome. Marodu Robin says perfection. Hard to Find Toy said purchase one today. Vendor 70 says amazing stuff. Golga 13 would be proud. Yes, he would. Johnny Reno, for those who don't know who Golga 13 is, it's an anime. He was like a hitman. He did not ever like anybody standing behind him, because he would just you go berserk on him. Johnny Reno says the real Barrett is a sexy, powerful beast, and Gridiron really did it justice. Bart says still barrel, so I can blow smoke through so I can blow smoke through this for the pics. Hey, if you know how to do it, I say do it. If you can do that picture with that smoke coming out from it, you're a better man than I am, because I wouldn't even know where to begin to do with that. No, I'm not saying that Island Misfit Toy. Chad says it's simply incredible work. Let's see. Nero says attention to detail is the highest level. Anthony says Mark is lying. It's not him.
It's never me. Tony.
Let's see. Shopsico says, hey, I want a 1915 Mauser auto pistol, please.
Oh, yeah. In fact, you're going to probably see some Mauser variations coming in the pistol, the broom handle, all that stuff's gonna be coming.
Very nice. Oh, man, you see, more that everybody keeps asking for, the more excited I get. Marauder says photography is key.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Tony says hit that like button, people. Thank you. Shop Go says Call of Duty. Anyone? Yeah. There's a lot of weapons in Call of Duty. I do play it myself, so I know there's a lot of variations in that as well too.
And we've pulled out some of those. We've done some of them.
Yeah, I did see some of like if you can do a Chimera, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah,
the Chimera is so sweet.
We do have. I can tell you a little drop. We are in the middle of planning the revamping of our entire AK line.
Oh,
so
nice.
We're going to be modernizing the AK platform. So, we have all the kind of traditional wood, the old style, AK-74s, AK-47s, but now we're kind of going to move to the more polymer, modern, some of the stuff you're seeing on Call of Duty.
Nice.
Very nice. That's good. That's great to hear. What's going on, Kevin? Toying around the butter bear himself, saying hello. Let's see. Hard to find toy says, well, damn, I guess I'll be getting a tan one too. I do apologize, folks. I know some of these.
I don't think we mentioned this, but again, I'm sorry, but I know my brain works. I'll forget this if I don't interject. I'm sorry. The storage right there. Like, we all talk about storage and on a figure is nice, but we get accessories where we don't know where to put them. We end up putting them in bag. I have a baggy collection back here of all my things. Whether it's we put them in a Tupperware, whatever it might be. The fact that if you're not using them, they sit right there in that. That's just showing the amount of thought and love that goes into these things. You have somebody to keep these things when you're not using them. So I just had to add that. I'm sorry it was so random, but it just I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Actually, we actually have a question about that. Bart says, in those gun cases, do the inserts come out that hold the parts?
The foam insert can be removed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. There you go.
It's not glued
Johnny
in.
says
It's a snug fit,
okay,
but not glued in.
So it can kind of be repurposed for other stuff too.
Yeah, if you want to take it out and make it like a weapons crate, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Or put some gold bricks in there.
Totally.
Straight cash.
That's coming. That's coming.
See,
was that?
Folks,
wait, was that just
hard hitting questions? Exactly. I asked the hard hitting questions like Geraldo Rivera, for those who remember.
You need the mustache though, man. You get the mustache.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the real reason we're taking that break. Where that mustache is to be.
Johnny Reno says Barney from Expendables carries a Colt 45.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bart's starting more trouble, but Bart's one of our troublemakers as well. Says Gritty hat since Dante will not. I told you, Indy already has a hat. Just buy the Hasbro one. Dang.
And it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad.
There you
go. We'll see.
There you go. See. Shop says, has anyone done a 1/6 scale version of these weapons? I am a 1/6 scale collector, like the 6-inch scale, but always love some 1/6 scale versions of these. So yeah, I guess that's a good question. Have you thought about going up like a scale with these?
Yes, I can confirm that we are definitely looking at developing the 1/6 line for sure.
Ooh.
We've already done some prototypes and they look amazing.
Oh wow! Yeah, I know 1/6 scale collectors are going to love that. They're going to really love that. Hard to Find Toy says, how long does it take from concept to customer?
Sometimes it'll. I mean, really, the concept could be 6. I mean, I have a concept we just finished that was probably from 8 months ago. But the actual practicality of we move really fast in our design stage. So Quaid's a madman, Colin's a madman. So when I'm usually the idea guy, right? So I'll come up with what the toy should have and what action figure should get what. And so when we design what that actual product is, by the time we're finalized on what the product should be, I mean, literally, Quaid will knock a model out in just, it's so fast it'll blow your mind. He'll lock in, and then Colin's shooting the parts within 2 days. So it's nuts how fast we'll produce a product. It's usually the conceptual side that's tougher. You know, which model, what variation, all that. But I mean, I would say a month. You know, we're usually about 3 weeks to a month behind. You know, that, you know, sometimes a little quicker, sometimes slower.
That's right.
Oh, there he is.
But it does show that you take your time when you're doing this. Like, you're not just rushing it on the concept to like, hey, let's get it out there. It shows that there's thought process put into it, and you're actually, you know, saying like, hey, you know, it might look good on paper, but when you print it out, you're like, okay, let's change this a little bit. Maybe let's make a change. This design, make a design change here. So
totally.
That's always good to know.
And damn,
I can tell you
that freaking picture. Look at that thing. Oh my god.
So that 4-barrel. So I can tell you, like, conceptually, that concept of that gun was done in 1999.
Oh wow.
So I mean, I have notes of this just crazy stuff going way back. So yeah, you kind of can see. I mean, that's
amazing.
And so this was a very sci-fi inspired weapon, but it you know, it has a practicality to it, really. You know, when we design, you know, technically it could in reality break down. You could throw 4, you know, grenades in there if you wanted.
Oh, I'm just looking at that, thinking to myself, like, so when we're off air, whenever it's going to be, how much money am I going to spend tonight? I'm sitting there on the website scrolling through, and I'm like, yeah, I need that. I probably
not
need
enough.
that. Well, you know, what's one more thing? And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, wow, okay, there it is.
Not going to be
totally. I didn't get pictures of this. I was trying to get this shot. Sometimes I run out of time, but I really wanted to get this in like Cable's hands from Mezco.
Ooh.
Where it looks kind of real, you know. It's a nice figure. Right. It'd be cool to have, you know.
Stop it. You're implanting ideas right now. Stop it. Right now.
That's how we do it.
He's like, sold.
Oh,
got another.
Goodness. The days of future past right there.
Justin Collect says, hey guys, what's going on? Justin Nero says, is there a special code to take advantage of the March Madness free random rifle from each order? About to submit my order for the Sniper 50 cal.
There's no codes this weekend. This is a freebie, straight freebie. So if you make an order today, you get the gun that was allotted for today. So, and everybody will get one. Any order that comes in today will have that gun in their order. Now, so what the mystery is you don't know which gun on which day. So technically, you know, it should give you some incentive to come back each day, try to find another piece that you're looking for, and then we combine shipping on Monday. You know, we've done several of these 3-day events. On Monday, it's like clockwork. We come in, we combine all the orders because we get a ton of customers that'll buy all 3 days, and then they'll take advantage of getting 3. You know, basically, you know, upwards of, you know, $30, almost $40 in product. You know, if you buy all 3 days, because you know most of our guns are about $10, $12.
Right. Yeah, and they're good prices, and thank you for doing that, because it does save a lot on our pockets, and I guess on your pockets as well, as for combining auto shipping. I'm like, because
absolutely,
I got 3 separate orders coming. I don't know, like, man, that's like $17.
Totally, man. We've tried. I mean, from the beginning, with all the increases in shipment, I mean, that shipping cost over the last 2 years has gone up and up and up. We still have kept it to right there. I think we're $4.95 for a flat rate. It doesn't matter what you order from us.
Yeah.
So, and I think if it's free shipping, if it's over like, I think it's like 200 or 250 or something.
We don't need to talk about that right now, because I'll buy over $200 of stuff and then be like, hey,
it's easy now, man. With
shipping,
with 300 products, yeah, we're starting to get up there.
Yeah. We have a super chat from Alexander L. again. It says, thank you very much. It says, buying Gridiron is like buying Gucci.
It is, man. We're the Gucci of weapons and accessories. Yeah.
Greg says you covered many of the popular SMGs, but one people don't have a good option for is 90s to 2000s, the FNP 90. Any chance that is in the works? That is true. I have not seen a P90 from anybody.
There's
really.
not. I mean, I hate to say. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, so it's kind of. I usually try to throw on the table to the guys when we're doing production meeting the things I like, and so that's just. It just happens to be a model I'm not a huge fan of. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that love that weapon system. So I know we're going to do it. I wasn't, I mean, everybody's going to hate me for this, but I wasn't a huge fan of the G36. So, and everybody's loved that G36 we did. And so, and that's all Quaid, man. Quaid has been pushing to get that G36 platform done for 2 years. So, you know, we have our strengths, and sometimes, you know, we also we got to come to work every day and make something we like to make, you know, so it's what kind of happens. But I think that's definitely going to be that's on our list, and I know we're going to do that platform. So rest assured, it's coming.
And hearing that again just shows the passion you three have for what you're doing. You know, the fact that you're having these conversations, it's not just this like random, okay, what are we going to do today? You're having debates, you're having conversations. It just shows, again, the consumer, the amount of heart that goes into this product, which, again, as a consumer, how can you not appreciate that?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I can tell you like this, the weapon that we did today that we dropped, that 50 cal, we debated and debated, I mean, across the board on the simple things like the monopod that attaches to the back of the stock is such a kind of, it's kind of a big deal when it comes to that weapon on how it's positioned and how it stands. So if you're on a bipod, you know, that 50 cal, that Barrett can pretty much stand alone. Like it doesn't need anybody around it. You know, it has a monopod on the back and a bipod on the front. So it has its 3 legs. But there was a big part of that where we were like, man, I don't know if we can do that monopod, that tiny little monopod. We won't make it if it feels at danger, like a breakage. We just won't do it. So you can rest assured if it's in that set, we've tested it. We feel like it's tough enough to withstand, you know, and sometimes there's collectors out there that'll grab these guns and jam them into figures and they won't really care. I try to just emphasize to everybody out there, these are prime premier models. I mean, these models are made, you know, they're made to be displayed. It doesn't mean, you know, I would throw them around in your sandbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But they're a collectible on its own. So, you know, I get a guy that'll send me a picture of a gun broken in half that we know that's not a joint that would break. But we'll still help guys out. You know, we love to replace stuff if they need it, but we just try to tell you know, treat them with some care for sure.
Well, it's a collectible like anything else.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm taking action figures to my office or whatever else, you have to have proper care storing those things. You don't just chuck them in a burlap sack and hope for the best. You know,
exactly. And I know you guys know the guys. You know that you'll see them just twist a hand or they won't heat something, and you know you're kind of cringing inside because you kind of know what that does.
Yeah,
that's how that's what these weapons are. You know.
Yeah. Bones PhD says, any chance for a medic set? Hasbro's been taking too long getting to Doc or Lifeline. Maybe a foldable stretcher.
Oh, I'm sure. Cage Collectibles, man. He's Cage Customs, man. He's in Arizona. He's actually working right now on helping me out on a Doc, basically a buck. He's got a really cool method for removing the camo. And so if you remove the camo off of Dusty, you basically have a Doc buck. And it's that color, that base color on Dusty is awesome for Doc. It looks right on. So usually, if you guys have noticed, most of our loadouts will have a figure in mind, and we try to do it with the minimal customization so that anybody that's not into customizing can go, oh, I'll throw that set on there and it looks pretty good, you know? And then guys that are really into customizing can take it to a whole nother level. So we try to give a little bit of both of that, you know? But to answer that medic question, we are absolutely in the middle of that.
Very nice.
Yeah, like a
That's
full stretcher, full
definitely
litter. We're making a litter, all that stuff.
okay.
You'll probably see oxygen tanks,
figured
IVs.
Well, you know what? And actually, that would go good with the WWE Slambulance. You know, I
Totally.
go have like, hey, medic, hey, here you go.
Totally. And we'd like to do,
because
the mask that wraps over the head,
Right. Tony says still waiting for a proper Recondo rifle.
He kills me with that. We've come out with some good alternatives. We're holding. I try to tell Tony this all the time. We're waiting when that Recondo drops, the official Recondo. You can count on Gridiron will have the perfect weapon for him.
Right.
We have it already planned out.
Yeah. Brett says you guys put out some very high quality gear for six figures. I've gotten $100 worth of your product and have never been disappointed. That's very great to hear.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Let's see. Anthony says I can paint. Well, if you want to work with me in painting, hey, I could send you the heads and the berets. You can paint them for me. We'll split it down the middle. Shav was like, Shav Gold says was not the original Jawa gun based on the pirate blunder buster gun?
There's two. I mean, if there's multiple weapons Jawas used, but the one it's the actual name is it was the one that had the tube, not the flared out barrel. That's the pirate buster. Mm-hmm. That okay. The one that I'm talking about had a tube and there's a magazine, and the magazine was a flip out, so you would load it. It was hinged, but that was a World War II weapon. I think it even goes all the way back to World War I believe. I can't remember the name of it though. It's one of those like an infield something or other.
I can't remember the name because I think I know what you're talking about. Like if I'm thinking correctly about the one that you're talking about, I just can't remember it as well.
There's a guy on YouTube that's done an actual like customization where he took that original World War II rifle, cut it down to what the Jawas used, and it's a real firing weapon. So there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube about it.
Greg says you were doing an awesome job, Mark, on the help subcontract the painting tonight. Don't subcontract the paint to me. I'm the worst. I'm telling you, I cannot paint.
We'll start shipping boxes. You'll get a box with like 1,000 heads in it.
Right.
Totally. Dante, you'll just have 1,000 heads sitting here on your desk there.
Well, nah, picture taking, okay, I can do that. But painting, no, you're asking a lot. You're asking like if somebody said you got 10 minutes to paint this head or you're gonna blow up. Well, I'm just going to have to blow up then. Like I want to say I'd rather go on YouTube trying to figure out a way to defuse the bomb than be sitting here trying to paint.
I think at some point we'll have them. I just have to put the right department together is what I need to do.
Bone says, thank you, Greg. Sorry. No, he was talking to Greg. Dark Breast said, apologies if this has already been asked on the stream, was late to the party. Are you guys planning on doing a classic inspired loadout for the upcoming classified scrap iron?
Yeah, so we actually pulled back. We have a loadout that's right there. So we're waiting to see once it actually gets in the hands what the final product is, all that stuff. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's always a lot of changes. They throw up these renderings that are all, they have a bunch of extravagant, accessories, but we don't end up seeing them. So I think I'll just wait and see once the thing actually comes out. Because, he basically comes with a tank now, right? That the treaded missile launcher. So to do a retro one, we always put our spin on it. So it won't be an exact retro, but it'll have, a gridiron thing to it.
What's going on, NJ Tree? Welcome to the show. I do apologize, everybody. I'm trying to get to your comments and your questions as fast as possible, but you are like just came out full force with this everything. I appreciate you.
And again, we have a lot of great insight here. Like we love getting the comments, but Mark's bringing us gold right now, so we have to get this out there to all of you too. So.
Dom says I already placed the order since the show started.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Dom is my boy. Dom in, and he's like, yo, you know what? If they're talking about it and they looks good, Dom's like, yeah, let me go ahead and order that. Let me go ahead and order like 16 16 pieces.
That's how I am, man. That's how I am.
Bart says TAC Quad M203 will look cool with the rocket's blast effect from the movie Cable figure.
Oh, that would be. Yeah, that would. We
even
do have some, as far as like that kind of realm of stuff. The Elite Operator Series, I explained with the cases and all that. I can give you another little. I got to probably stop giving you drops here, but we are in the
nobody's
works.
Going to tell. Nobody's from the show's going to tell. We'll keep it quiet.
Maybe just make sure no one says anything to the outside world.
Can't say anything now.
So we're planning on doing the Javelin and probably the Stinger. We're working out where they're going to be part of the Elite Operator Series first. So they'll have their own weapons crate with the foam. You'll be able to pull a Javelin out. There'll be the tubes, all that stuff. So we're working through all that stuff, but that's exciting things that we've been in the talks on for sure.
Oh man! Now, see, you already sold me. You
it's going to be really cool if that works out how we're talking about it and the preliminary designs. It's going to be awesome.
Shop says, "Hey Mark, what's the craziest gun you come up with?"
Man, I would. It's got to be the Decapitator, man. It was that mashup #1. If you go to the mashup section, it's the first weapon we took.
Oh, here it is.
Let's see if that's the one. That's it right there. So this was this weapon. I really wanted to kind of set something up. This one Quaid definitely cringed at. He loves the meticulous realism. It all has to be perfect. Every nut, every screw hole, and I just obliterate his designs to make these mashups. So when I did this, we basically took our deuce, our Ma Deuce, and it just kept getting chopped down and chopped down. Pretty soon, man, this thing had, I think we counted somewhere around 10 different weapons were used to design this one gun.
Woo.
So there's just stuff in there. Not to mention, taking the scope and to create that offset scope, kind of a sci-fi scope. That's one of our binocular. We just cut the binoculars and extended kind of a telephoto, but we could get that kind of binocular look off of a side hanging scope, which never really makes too much sense, but it's all looks really cool, man. That's all that mattered for this.
So kind of question that, because you ever think about like doing kind of something like the design, like something like Aliens as well, because they had like the big old like machine guns and like the different kind of smart. Like, do you ever think you'll like kind of do designs like kind of like that?
Yeah, how do I put this? Most of our Gridiron, the people that have been with us now for 2 years, know that May is basically May Movie Mayhem is our monthly theme. And that almost got in there last year. I can pretty much guarantee the smart gun's coming this year. I don't want to guarantee, but I can tell you it's on the top of my list to get in. So we did the pulse rifle last year for May Movie Mayhem. That was our little theme. And we did a bunch of, if you go to on our website, if you're clicking around, if you go to the movie, I think it's movie replicas or movie props. It's on the list there and down there at the bottom, I think. There's you're still on there. Yeah. Because we had, we try to get, some cool themed movie stuff, it thrown in there. That's, we obviously are pushing limits on some licensing stuff, but we don't, when it comes to weapons, they're all original designs to us. They may be inspired by something, but we're making so many changes to things. There's the pulse rifle right there. And so, in this theme, so you're in the movie prop one, right? So you can see like we did the Leon from, So that kind of stuff.
I was also going to say,
And obviously, Old Painless. That's one of our.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I do apologize.
No problem.
Oh, I was going to say, for your next movie, could you do Dirty Harry?
Oh, dude, yeah. I would love, man. I've been dying. I've been pushing real hard to get some of those old 70s and 80s revolvers in the action for sure.
Yes.
Not to mention, we talked about Indiana Jones, right?
Yep.
I think, what is it that isn't a 1919 Browning pistol? I think is what he used.
I think
we definitely want to do that. I don't know how good the one that they're coming out with looks, so we'll probably do something, pretty realistic.
I'll say go ahead and make it because we already know how that's gonna.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and with the injection molded stuff, it's always going to be downgraded. So we'd like to have a really nice finished, because that pistol was like, all of us, man, that are fans of Indiana Jones going way back. I don't know about you guys, when that pistol was almost like its own character to me. It was like his whip and his pistol, right?
Right.
So every time I saw they killed it or they hacked it when they did that 118 line, right? Where that pistol was so horribly out of scale. And so I'm hoping these look good. So I'm hoping it's nice, but we'll probably have something to replace that for sure.
And again, as we said, unfortunately, you're not going to have the most quality when it comes to those accessories. So the fact that you guys can double down and make those is fantastic. It also lets people know, like, hey, you know what? If I had reservations buying the figure, I could get it knowing that on the back end, I'll eventually get, that icing on the cake to go with it.
Exactly. Dude, that you hit it right there perfectly, man. I would hope that our customers come away with that feeling that we take suggestions. Like most guys that know this, I have a list of weapons that just the last 2 years, people that pile in and say, hey, I want this, and I want this. If it's something we can make that we can get behind, that we like, we'll make it. And, that's that Indiana Jones pistols, that's going to be made. I mean, I can almost guarantee it. That's one of my favorite handguns from that era. So,
oh yeah, well, like I said, we'll definitely probably need it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, it's going to be hard for them if we want to have something really model quality, right? We're going to have to do something.
Bart says the 5.7 pistols are popular now. I have several and carry the FN 5.7 daily. Any chance of getting the FN 5.7?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard in 112 scale because you don't. Some of those like like the SIG line that we have. There's so much crossover to those polymer style weapons, and then even some of there's a lot in there and a lot of different brands to choose from. We try to stay as generic as possible, but fitting in on those. That's kind of a hard question to answer, but we would like to do that weapon platform as well, for sure.
Okay. Johnny Reno says HKMK 23 US SOCOM Mod 0 needs to be made.
Totally. And it does. It's on the list.
The Island Misfit Toy Collector says these crazy folks are says these crazy folks at Gridiron made gym equipment and amazing jetpacks. Yes, I do remember seeing the gym equipment. The gym equipment look amazing.
I got, the things a lot of people don't know about, like, with Quaid, he was a D1 athlete at Cal State Irvine and at ASU. And he, the weight room was second nature to him. I mean, I played football. Colin played football. We sports and we're gridiron, right? So we definitely have a heart in that element. And Quaid, I think that's all second nature to him, and that fitness equipment he knows, very well. So he translated that to a model that was just crazy.
Let's see. We got a bunch of questions here for you, Mark. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this.
Keep them coming. I'm happy to answer.
Grace, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm sure our viewers appreciate it as well. Greg says, "Question: We have talked a lot about modern military items, but what about the giant swords for your anime and mythic fans? Guts, Cloud, Ichigo, etc. Have ones people love."
Yeah, that's a good question. Because we're talking more like swords, more mythic kind of
Mhm.
weapons, right? So we started with the whole mythic legions as being like kind of an angle for fantasy weapons for us that we could kind
Okay.
of piggyback. And we've tried. You can look on our site. I mean, we have a lot of sword type weapons. I really wanted to make a push this year to go heavy into fantasy. So I would say if any of your viewers are send me emails. Gridiron, it's gridironprops@gmail.com. Send me emails with what weapon, a picture of the weapon you're looking for, and I'll start putting things together because I'm trying to get a little bit of consensus on what the actual swords that people are looking for. We've done a lot of the generic ones, right? The Ninjato and the samurai swords. That Conan sword is definitely going to be done. I love it. It's something I need to make. So, and that Mezco stuff is amazing. Now I know it's been done and it's out there as open files, but I think what we could bring to it is what I said earlier. If I know that there's something we can bring to the finish to make it look different, we'll make it. It's not meaning to compete with anybody. It's just we
Yeah,
view
yeah,
it's that whole Lamborghini Ford thing. Yeah, if we can make that, we'll make it.
yeah. And this file was great that I found, like, because it actually has like the etching, the symbols
Yeah,
etched in the hilt, almost like close to I want to say like the bottom part of the blade of it. And
totally.
it was just a fun little print, and that was thanks to Greg, who asked about it to see
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he's like, that'd be great. But it was a fun
yeah.
little print. But if you're going to do it, I will leave it alone, sir. I'll let y'all handle it.
Well, I think it's one of those, for us, man. It's like, at least you'll count on if Gridiron's going to make it, it'll have a finished appearance, right?
Right.
It'll be done. So that's what you're
Yeah,
kind of
because
paying for is our finishing, right? But that model is nice.
uh,
I've seen it. It's really nice.
yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
White Vegeta says, any plans for EOD sets, claymores, or drones? Just a shake of head. So there you go. There you go, Mike. So that's all
A
we're gonna
lot,
get
lot
for
of
now.
plans. A lot of plans.
Thank you, Jordan from Canada. Says Dante, sorry I'm late. I'm glad to see you back. Cheers to the man, Tim, Gridiron Studios, in chat. Thank you. Glad that you can join us.
Yes.
Chat says I got to get a Gridiron shirt. I got to get one
Yes.
too. Yeah, I got to represent now. I have to
That's right,
represent.
man. And you know what, man? People don't realize they're nice shirts. Like we didn't mess around. I mean, these are all next level, or first level, next level, yeah.
Yeah.
They're tight on the arms, nice fit on the shoulders. They're super comfortable. They aren't junk t-shirts. They're really nice.
See, I can do that. I can buy a T-shirt. Like, yes, Gridiron shirt.
Oh yeah, man.
Uh,
There's something about a good
uh,
t-shirt fit. I'm a
uh.
big guy, man. You got to have that thing fit right. If it don't fit right, it's a piece of
Yes,
garbage. It goes in the trash.
Yep.
exactly.
I feel you.
Green Bones PhD says awesomeness. Can't wait to see the dock loadout, and it'll be day one purchase.
Nice. It's gonna be.
Let's see. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's gonna be a cool set. I mean, we're thinking of some cool stuff behind it, so it'll be fun.
Fourth Feather says, forgive me if this was asked already, as I'm late getting here, but would Gridiron consider doing versions of OG G.I. Joe 112 scale vehicles like the Ferret, Zartan's Chameleon, and many other vehicles as well?
Okay, I knew this topic always kind of follows me.
Everybody loves a vehicle. That's what it comes down to.
They do.
What's a vehicle?
And what's funny is like our capabilities are getting there. I mean, the howitzer was a huge success. We had a bunch of people really get behind it, and it continues to sell really well. And it's a great model. The thing that everybody notices about it is it has wheels. So with the wheels, there's something about understanding what it takes to even get to that point where a wheel works on a 3D printed part, and how does it not break, and and we have finally gotten that thing to where we're very happy with the actual construction of it. Now that means that we've looked at how do we push this to the next level, and we have some really cool ideas that I don't want to reveal because I know for a fact the second I say anything, there's going to be about 100 guys trying to make it. So there's one vehicle that's going to be our version of this vehicle it should just blow everybody's socks off, and that's something we have actually we're in pretty good pre-production on. Like we've taken some really good steps to figuring out how the best way to design it. But just on that note, we make hard-edged models. So vehicles to us is a hard-edged model. So I would say that there's never if to allow your viewers to have some kind of peace of mind is we are always thinking about making vehicles. We did the jump set, right? Our jetpack version, right? So if anybody's seen that, no, we're still working through the mechanics of that to try to get the guy to stand up without warping things. But that model is very, very, it's got the retro feel, but it's a cool set. The howitzer was another one. So we're kind of pushing towards these bigger, so things like a Ferret or an ATV, those are they're all fair game for sure. The Manta, right? We talked about earlier.
Yeah. I think if you go into the vehicles there, if you mix those vehicles, even if you just branch off, like you're not even just like do like a regular generic van or like a generic car. Oh my goodness!
I think, man, the thing that's cool, kind of, especially at 112, so you can't go too big, right? There's no space, but
right.
I think there's a place in there where there's a lot of 3D printers that are doing some cool vehicle models. Like I can't remember who made somebody made the glider, right, and the Fang. So they look nice. The only thing I don't think a lot of people understand is the production. To actually take that kind of thing into even at our level of production is virtually impossible without some serious logistics. So, that's something we have to really think to just do the howitzer for us. That was we had professionally printed boxes, die cut foam. The boxes alone are kind of their own collectible. I mean, they're kind of just crazy to get all that done. So, we're not going to make something and just, make a vehicle and throw it in a bag and mail it to you. So, we try to make it nice on the packaging side.
That's good. Which goes right into the next comment. Jordan from Canada says, love the passion the designers have for these products.
Yes.
What's going on, Performance? Hello, happy grid day to you too. He says, happy grid day, fellas.
That's right, man.
The Island Misfit Toys Collector says, the howitzer is amazing. What's the possibility of getting a checkpoint dio or something like that?
Oh man, I would love it. That was one of my favorite sets, man. The Checkpoint Alpha when we were kids. I would love. In fact, I mentioned earlier. I don't know if we talked about it, if that was off camera, but I was the owner. Still am. Builderama was something that's been around for about 20 odd years, and it was just all focused around diorama products. So if you knew what Builderama was, that was us. I mean, I created that in 1999. And, we did everything from hand-filled sandbags to destroyed walls, buildings. So things like a checkpoint or a watchtower are definitely, that's a high priority on my list. I would love to get to that point. In fact, you'll probably see more diorama stuff before you'll see vehicles at this point, I think.
That will build out. That will make some build out for great photography.
Absolutely.
Pieces that are sorely needed.
Absolutely.
Ken Best says, I need Tomb Raider style pistols, something with those barrel extensions, match style pistols, I guess they be called. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, with the extender on the barrel. Kind of like the Leon we did for the Barrett. That had an extender, or for not the Barrett, the which one was that? I mean, I'm getting tired. Um, totally. But we did a barrel extension on the end of that Leon. But yeah, I think we're going to probably do that to most weapons. If once we get a chance and we, start hitting a line of handguns, we'll try to put that version in there for sure.
Okay.
We have some options for Tombstone right now, or for Tomb Raider right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you go to handguns.
Now we just got to wait for somebody. Well, we got to wait for somebody to make a good Tomb Raider figure now.
Exactly. That's a whole nother issue, yeah.
You're right. We have a super chat from Darth Brett. Thank you very much. Thanks for answering the scrap iron question. Retro coupled with some modern touches definitely sounds awesome. Keep up the quality content, Dante. Oh, thank you very much. Hey, look, I'm just here. I'm the guy that's here. If you got questions, I will get your questions answered as best as I can. Greg says, cool, I can pass the info around. I don't know what you're talking about, Greg, because I'm so far behind, so I don't know what you're even referring to. Fort Feather says the ninja weapons are right up my alley. Johnny Arena says Connor McLeod's katana and the Kurgan sword from the Highlander would be nice to see made. Let's see. Chat says, will the guy make the katana sword rack again? I think that was still up, isn't it? Or is that sold
it's still
out?
up. I think we show it as sold out. We were planning on bringing it back. It was never retired. And it was a beautiful set too, man. It's really nice. We're trying to figure a little different way to do the paint apps. But I have a feeling it's going to come back, and I think when it comes back, it'll probably have different color schemes as well.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. I can see that as being a big. Professor says the house is the reason I asked. Hey, Jeremy Jernigan, how you doing? Professor says, oh, you got me excited and anxious to see what you put out. Ken Best says small diorama style items like the Bivouac. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Would be cool.
Oh, Bivouac.
B-I-V-O-U-A-C.
Yeah, the Bivouac set. Yeah, okay. It's like the camp set, the Bivouac. No, I got you. I got it. I know what he's talking about.
Okay. Okay. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to say it. Yes. I'll butcher it.
No worries, man. Yeah,
Don says the answer is yes. There you go. Dom says dial pieces are needed. And Chris Daughtry says, what's up, Dante? Hope you're doing well. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. I am good. Man, we got through everybody's questions. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Yeah, you all have some good questions. Questions I didn't even think about.
Those good ones.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, man. So we'll go with some news here. And I know there was big things. I was super excited about it. Some of the stuff that built from the Legends panel Wednesday. There was an old biddy that showed up. I shouldn't call her that, but she's old and she's great age. But that's who we know her as. I'll kind of start here. Actually, skip through these because we want to come. We'll get to the new reveals. Sorry. Chat says, will you be at Joe Fest this year?
Okay, we will not. We actually tried to get in late. They were already occupied, all of them, all the spots. We had a schedule conflict, and then it got freed. We tried to make an entry, but there wasn't. So we're gonna definitely plan for next year. We'll be there next year.
Okay. All right. There you go. If you're going to Joe Fest next year, you may see Mark and crew there.
That's right.
My audio is breaking up? I'm sorry. Let me see if I fix it real quick here.
So while you're pulling that up,
here
we're seeing the new Spider-Man. Is that Ben Reilly, I believe? We're seeing right there.
Yes, it's Ben Reilly. It's Spider-Man costume.
So we're getting that new Spider-Man wave, which again, like as we flash through these, you'll see lots of Spider-Man waves coming out. lots of Spider-Man news for Marvel Legends this past week. I watched that live stream and it was just like hit after hit after hit. I don't know if it was one of those
Oh
things
yeah,
where they were just like slowly building up and they had all this stuff to release, but like all I know is every time I thought it was over, like Dwight or Ryan would turn around and be like, "Oh, here's more. Oh, here's more. Here's more." And I was like, "Holy cow! Like this is a lot of product they're
exactly.
showing, right?"
This is one of the Spider-Mans I was hoping they would make because I did like this costume on Ben. This is one of the few Ben Riley costumes I like on this face on him. This is great. And if you're not familiar, like this is more of like kind of like the current storyline when he had this costume when Peter got injured and was in the hospital, so he was taking over for him, and he was working for wasn't Alchemax? What's Alchemax? I can't remember who he was working with, but he was working with a company uh, that was using him, as Spider-Man, trying to sell the name, use the name of Spider-Man as for sale because of the previous company that Peter Parker had bought, the Parker Industries. They had bought Parker Industries. And then they do his newest iteration, Chasm, who knows? Chasm. This is one. This is like the latest storyline that just wrapped up in the comic. So you do have that. Let's see. Chad says, I'll make sure I wear a Gridiron shirt when I go to Joe Fest. Chris Daughtry says, I want all the Avengers. Stripe says, that Ben Riley is meh. Grace says, Disembowel's hurting from all the Spidey waves. I'm hurting too. NJ Tree says that the Aunt May figure looks like she's running for office, but no, she's going to. We're going to get to her. I call it the retirement home 2-pack. Dark Brett says, makes me wonder if the Joe stream next Wednesday is going to be all the Marvel stream was. Hope so. Yeah, I hope so with you. I hope when we see the G.I. Joe stream next week, they're gonna pull out some good hits. Dom says the Spider-Man was a total pass for me, but only because of his characters I don't need. Those Avengers are going to hit me hard, though. Yes, I think the Avengers are going to hit everybody hard. Let's see. Yeah, 4 feathers. It's 2.5 hours. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then Eric Alfredable, thank you for the super chat. Says, just got back from the Valverse reveals. I was going to buy a couple of Marvel just now, but Bobby Val is getting Warpath Eclipse all day. Oh, very nice. Thank you for the super chat. Grace says, Destroyer, Black Widow, and Black Knight are fire. Linda McMahon, Don says, Linda McMahon, Aunt May. Oh my goodness. No. We're just going to do this
I
pretty
see
quickly.
it. After you said it, I see it now.
No.
I see what he said.
No. Don't you give it. We got Miles Morales and his newest iteration, his costume. I'm just curious about the ab articulation on him with that kind of shirt over him without the cut. How much are you going to get? How much is he going to be able to bend forwards and backwards? But he looks good. All these Spider-Man figures look good. The Rose, another one I was concerned with ab articulation. So, like I said, these characters look great. The figures look great so far, but I'm just really curious about how far you're going to be able to get them to crunch their ab crunch on.
And I think they actually have said with the Miles, like you will have ab articulation that's not quite where you want it to be, with that shirt on there. So again, like it's there, but it's buried beneath all that, the overlay. So you get the look you want, but unfortunately, the articulation is not going to be what you want. So, it's a mixed bag.
The only thing we talked about on Boxing Art on Wednesday was you can probably cut a slit here on the side of the suit, like it would be in a regular suit, and kind of get a little bit more from there. And then we have Spider Woman. Looks great on the new women's buck that they're putting out. Not really a whole lot to dissect from there. She looks good. We have one of the probably more anticipated figures is Elektra Daredevil. and she will come with the mask head as well. So at least you know you're getting 2 head sculpts with that,
Mhm.
which is good. And like all new legs with the flared out puffy pants, the MC Hammer pants, I like to call them.
Yep, and that's a great run. I've been reading Daredevil since like Mark Waid's first issue, so that's a great run of the book.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were getting this relatively pretty early is great because they did a fantastic job with that comic. So it's cool to see this in the wave.
Any, I know I'm going kind of through this. I do apologize, Mark. I'm going kind of through this really fast. But is there anything that's like caught your eye that you like? Yeah, I probably would pick that up.
Yeah, for me, man, I know, you know, I'm always like a sucker, man, for Spider-Man stuff. So, and really I wasn't even aware, man. I didn't see the Daredevil stuff. So that's probably something I'll pick up for sure.
Yeah, the Electric Daredevil is really great.
That's a
She's
beautiful
like the
figure.
most.
Yep.
It is. It looks so amazing. I just want to see what that second head's like on her. Then we have Tarantula as well, showing
That's
up.
nice.
One of the most eyeball characters, but people love it. People have been wanting it.
Oh,
People
yeah.
love it.
Well, it goes back to Spectacular Spider-Man #1, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just not. He's not one of those characters I really resonated with.
No,
He's
it's like,
great to have.
yeah, that cover always resonates with me. You know, that cover art
Mhm.
with Tarantula on it. But yeah, for some reason the figure, yeah, we'll see.
When I first saw this, I got super pumped because I am reading Daredevil currently. So I saw the Elektra Daredevil figure, and I was like, oh man, we're actually getting the bearded Daredevil from the same book. And I was like, no, that's not him. There's a pointed thing on his boot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we'll have to wait for that version of that figure, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The VHS 2-pack that was announced previously before with Carnage and Symbiote Spider-Man. They did show off a little bit more.
I get all those VHS packs, man. I don't know why. I just pick them all up.
I don't blame
I don't
you.
even know what I'm doing with them.
Right. I'm
old
all in
school,
on the
man.
Spider-Man ones.
Yeah. I've gotten all those X-Men ones, man. I just, for some reason, man, those VHS ones, man, they ring my bell, man, for sure.
They hit that nostalgia button, right?
Oh, bad. Yeah, bad. And I still can't stand the inner packing of them, you know, the paper and all that crap.
Yep.
But, man, you know, the box is nice.
Here we got one of the retirement home packs. Sorry for folks that feel like they should be there. But it's Aunt May. We finally getting to Aunt May.
Here's my nerve,
I'm gonna have
Dante. I got to plant the plant here. This is my worry right here. Being objective, I look at the feet and the legs. It seems very much the Jean Grey from the House of X, Powers of 10, and her feet and her legs were awful. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, it looks cool, and I know we're getting to the big thing in this pack, which is not Aunt May, but that concerns me because this Jean Grey did not stand very well.
This is the only thing that concerns me about this one. It doesn't look like Aunt May. It looks like she looks more like Mary Jane's aunt.
Yes.
In the face.
Agreed.
She looks like the neighbor who's always over there talking about, May, your nephew is such a like, Dad, come on, like, lady, why don't you back up? That's her nephew, like you're talking about. So why don't you step off? Like, you don't know the family business. Come on, like just step off. Mind your business.
Yep.
That's who she kind of reminds me of. In the face. Anna Watson. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Anna Watson.
And will it stand?
But yeah. The big thing out of this was the Doc Ock with the bendy tentacles. Finally getting bendy tentacles. But not only do they fit on this Doc Ock, they fit on your other Doc Ock as well. So you have multiple purpose tentacles.
Nice.
The fact that these are reverse compatible is awesome. You know, they actually had the mindset to be like, okay, you could put these on your older figure. That's great. And again, like I'm looking right now at my Sentinel bendy wire arms, you know, those. So I'm like, you know what? Good for them. They figured out a way to do it. This is what the fans wanted for a long time. So I'm glad they did it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'll be picking
like I
that
said,
up.
oh, definitely, yeah. When they went on pre-order Thursday, so
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, I have to get this. This is a must-have because it's a dock, and I said this dock. If you're a good customizer, this Doc Ock, you can make him into like the old school '90s Doc Ock with the white suit, the all white suit, because he has the face already for it, the face and the head sculpt already for it. You just have to customize the body into it.
Yep, and we've seen some pictures actually where it will support its own weight. So, they've
Yeah.
posted those photos where he's up on those arms and he's still standing. So it shows how much stability there is with that too.
Yes. Yeah. So this is awesome. This was a great reveal as well.
Yep.
So you got the old retirement home 2-pack here.
I'm in.
Don't just say see Mike how do you like
It doesn't even matter. They could throw any old person in there and I'd buy it.
Anna Watson and Aunt May together again.
You can even put Anna Watts' neighbor in there and I'd buy it.
Random cocoon figure. There it is, cocoon. Put
Oh.
it in
All over it. Totally, man. I'm all over that.
Oh, Wilford Brimley. Yo, if they did
There
put
he
Wilford
is.
Brimley
That's
there,
him, yep.
I'd be down.
Oh,
I
I'd
would be
in.
down because I would have him
Totally,
so
man.
many pictures with him talking about oatmeal and diabetes. Yo,
Oh, yeah.
it would be so many pictures.
The scariest thing, Mark, he's come up on this channel before.
Really?
We've talked about him specifically. So it fits in very well this conversation.
So it's
Yes.
time, man. We need that figure for sure.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, always used to call him the Quaker Oats man. Then we finally got a big announcement with the Avengers Beyond, with the first appearance of Iron Man. This looks great. And the head articulation on this looks awesome. Like it looks down and looks back.
Yeah.
To a very much good degree. Like you get a very good range out of this. So this is highly anticipated. I'm definitely going to pick this up.
Oh yeah.
Give that classic, because we haven't really gotten a first appearance Iron Man, I think, in Marvel Legend form in a long time. I think the last one was like Toy Biz.
Yeah.
And then we got the movie one.
Yeah, that's not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, not the same at all. Yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, his head. So he looks down very much. Like when he moved, like, Dwight moved the head down. You can see like it has a good range articulation in the neck, and the neck peg there. And then we're finally getting a banner.
There he is.
Finally, figure form. Dr. Bruce Banner. But he was hit by gamma rays to turn to the Hulk.
So it looks like we're getting some reuse from the Reed Richards Fantastic Four retro card wave, and I guess some reuse from that the Gray Hulk exclusive, the fan channel. Looks like.
No, so a little bit. When they said they talked about this, the Hulk is sculpted differently because he is a lot smaller than the other Gray Hulk that they originally released. Dwight did say that, so there is a different body sculpt on this Hulk. So it's not. I don't think there's a lot of reuse on this one. Maybe like the shirt, but he said the whole chest region area, and I think arms, if I remember correctly, are a brand new sculpt. But the head's a new sculpt as well.
So there's the original right there, the carded one. So yeah, I agree. Looking at it, I agree. It looks different enough that I also love the fact that, again, little details, but Bruce wearing the orange shirt, you have Hulk with the orange rip shirt. So again, make sure to make that match stuff is good too. Yeah.
And the glasses are removable on Dr. Banner. So they did say this is the reuse of the body of the 80th anniversary. Was it 80th anniversary Thor? I can't remember. But reuse of the Thor, but with a different head sculpt. He's bearded now. And we're more likely a 2-pack of the Thor because they did show with him. the Destroyer. Uh, Now I have to see a little bit more of this Destroyer, but I'm going to stick with my Marvel Select one, which was gets a little bit, you get a little bit, it's a little bit taller. I think it fits like that Thor range for figure wise, but these are some big figures. They did put let me see if I put it they did put the rose next to him to show like the height. Let's see where's there it is. Don says, Dan, you said the accessories reveal a lot about that Thor. You know, I'm down. But we can see like what a 6-inch figure looks like compared to stand next to Thor and Destroyer. So there is some height on him. Finally, been wanting forever. Classic Hawkeye on his Sky Cycle.
There it is.
So this has been highly anticipated. And now you don't have to try to get that retro card Hawkeye. You just buy this and you'll be good. Oh, and then Don says Dan confirmed that 2-packs would be less than $80. So that's good to hear.
Yep.
Nice. We'd like to redo that. I think I'd like to take a shot at a Hawkeye set, like a quiver set. Well, just the quiver bow set.
Then you got my money, sir. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, because we've gotten a pretty good, with the quivers looking realistic scale wise. The quivers are always hard when they come glunked with a bunch of arrows,
Right. I like it when it's like if you just like they did like maybe like a bunch together and then you have separate ones like they used to do in the Toy Biz.
Totally.
Had the different gadget ones.
That's what we did on our Ninja one that we did. Yeah.
Okay. So there's this cycle.
He's still one of my favorite characters of all time, by far.
Yep.
Hawkeye, love him, man. He's good.
He is. I do like the character itself. I do like the old school one, but I like the modern version, the modern take of him when he was going against the Tracksuit Mafia. That was a good story. I did like that one.
Yeah, that was different.
Then we also have the Secret Wars, Doctor Doom, and Photon. I'll just be getting it for Photon because I am not a fan of this Doctor Doom. This is where they kind of lost me.
Yeah, me either, man. Yeah, that's horrible. I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
that Fantastic Four version was nice. The Fantastic Four version, that was good.
Yep,
it did. I really enjoyed that one. And then they finally moved into the 90s with some Avengers. Now we're getting Cersei, and we're getting Black Knight.
Oh, that leather jacket! Oh man, it pulls me in. I have the previous. I have probably 3 or 4 of the previous releases, but that leather jacket looks great. It really does.
So, Mark, do you think you could do a saber sword for Black Knight? Because I love the Marvel Legends team, but that sword's already warped already.
Yeah. We do have some light sabers in the works, so we'll see how that goes.
But I was all in for these because I love me some 90s. I still had that silver foil cover with Black Knight on the front of it. I'm down for that. We got a very articulated. I'm sorry, what's that?
So the jacket looks great. Yeah.
Yeah. We had the super articulated Black Widow coming out, which was on parallel on Tuesday night. Talking about it's going to come with more accessories and also a different head sculpt as well with it. So you're going to get lots of stuff with this Black Widow. We just don't know what's going to actually come with it, but it sounds like we're going to get a good amount of accessories with this one. But she is super articulated, double jointed knees, pinless, double jointed arms, you know, diaphragm. Like she looks like she can get into the poses that you need, like for that Black Widow pulls off in the comics.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to bail, man. I got tickets to that movie. I gotta get to.
Hey man, enjoy.
All right. I'm sorry. Yes, there was. I'm sorry. There's a question real quick, and I do apologize before you got out of here.
Oh, nice.
Where is it? I forgot who asked it. Jordan from Canada says, "What is it like being a toy company in 2023? Is it fun for you as it is for us to be living in that time? In this time, are you energized and inspired by all these other lines?"
Oh yeah, man. That's an easy one. I'm such a dude. I bleed toys, man. It's such a passion for me. So I love anything we can create that enhances any of this. We feel grateful. I mean, this is a great way to depart your show. I mean, just to share with you guys the gratitude we have for everyone. We feel responsible for what we make. I mean, we don't just throw it out there to grab a bunch of cash. We try to get something out there that people will. It'll enhance their collection. It'll enhance their hobby. I don't know about you guys, man. I'm not getting any younger, and even for me, like when I pick up a collectible, it's like that for us, man, we're buying memories, right? We're buying the reason why the reason why they make so many versions of Doctor Doom is that it reminds us of something, right? Exactly. So it's like all those things are just memories to us. But what I don't like is when these toy companies throw crap out there just to cultivate and use us for that memory, for that nostalgia. So for us, we feel like it's an obligation we have to actually get you guys to have that, right? To have our at least fans of Gridiron, to have them know that when the package comes, it should give a smile on their face. This should create happiness. It should create excitement. And man, I feel blessed every freaking day because I've been in this world. I've been in it a long time. I'm blessed to see my sons actually partaking of the same group that I know and love, that same community that supports us. So, man, hands down, passion 2023. Like I said at the first of the year, this is going to be a big year for us. We thought, if you thought last year was big, this year is going to be freaking huge. So,
I can't wait. Thank you, Mark, for hanging with us. I appreciate it. I understand you got to go. Thank you. I'll email you about something later that I wanted to talk to you about at the show, but no worries, it's fine. But thank you for hanging with us. We have to get your sons on here with us next time.
I'll drag them on, man. I know everybody likes to talk to them because they seem kind of mysterious, so it'll be a fun show.
Mark, thank you for your time, man. Such a great conversation. And you let me know how good the movie is. Tell me how good that movie is. I'll go see it.
Oh, man. I'll give you guys the rundown, man. I'll give you the rundown. Well, thanks for having us on, man. Anytime you want us, we'll be here. No problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night.
Guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you, man.
Let's pull this back up here. Wrong way. Okay, here we go. But yeah, super particular Black Widow. Then coming back to full circle, Bucky Cap on the Vulcan mod, on the Vulcan body, I should say.
There he is, Bucky Cap.
Full circle, looks good. Can't wait. And this one will actually replace the ones that I had, that I already had. So this is great. I'm super excited for this. Then we got the 2-pack. It's I would say this is probably a 2-pack scroll.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice that the cape's removable. You don't have to keep it on if you don't want to. And I'm sure he'll probably come with a ton of different arms on him already.
Yep.
Look, don't you start Plastic Thunder. So that Buck gonna be tall AF next to any other Marvel Legends figure.
Well, it seems like some reuse from that Build-A-Figure we got from the Super Scroll. You see the arms repainted on the right arm there. So, but it's very cool. If you were a Secret Invasion fan, Brian Michael Bendis' comic book run, this is great. Personally, I love the comic book, so I'm going to grab these for sure. Just do the attachment
Oh,
to
yeah.
that comic.
This I'm gonna grab at least probably like maybe 2 packs of these just to have some like big super scroll dudes. Because I have the regular scrolls and I got those and I have like the old school Toy Biz ones. I think like having 2 of these would be fine. It won't really mess up anything because then you got the 2 big bruisers of the group. Abnuggle says, Dan, you said on Wade's stream that they were pushing to have Bucky Cat to be the first figure to use the new mold, but with timing it couldn't be done. That would have been great. Yeah, that would have been awesome. King Blackball says the Super Scroll looks overly designed. Yeah, I don't know. It looks fine for now. I'll say it looks fine for now. There may be some changes along the way, but it looks fine for now.
It looks cool. Again, like
But
for what it is, looks cool.
yes. Then we also get the Squirrel Queen with him, which is very neat. It looks like it's still in that original Spider Woman body that came out like a couple years ago. Now this one you can call the pieces right here. I'm not mad at it. It works for what it's going to be, the Super Adapt toy. But we know that's a 12-inch cap body with the 12-inch cap shield. Probably that's a 12-inch Thor hammer. The new pieces on it are the head, the boots, and I think the gloves. And the chest is probably from the 12-inch Iron Man as well. So I would think those pieces, yeah, those would be the new pieces. The head, the what's it called, the chest piece, gloves, and boots. But it's a good way to get a reuse out of that plastic, that mold. So I'm not too mad with it. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Oh, Abno says big miss on the Squirrel Queen. Oh wow. Abno says big miss on Squirrel Queen. They should have used the new pinless double jointed female mold. Is she? Oh, she does have the pins. I was gonna say. I thought she was pinless.
And again, that falls under that category of if it's going to be in a 2-pack, which we're guessing it's going to be. They're not going to always put in the brand new stuff. It's just it is what it is. Mm-hmm. You're going to get reuse for a while, at least for a year or two, I would think. So.
Yeah. I'm surprised Kev's not asleep either. He was like up to the wee mornings of the hour. King Blackball says, I'll get the Super Adaptoid. If I hate it, then I'm definitely selling it. My thing is, I'm just kind of wonder what the price is going to be. I said maybe like $70 for this.
Yeah, whatever the Surtur was, I would think it'd be similar to Surtur, is my guess.
Well, I'm just thinking because remember when the 12-inch figures came out, they're around like 50.
Yep.
And this is actually a 12-inch figure. I don't know if Surtur was 12 inches.
I'm eyeballing him right now. He's pretty close. Right now, I can tell you the Wolverine 12-inch, which obviously Wolverine's shorter, he's smaller than Surtur. Like I'm looking at it right now. So I would guess Surtur is around 12 inches, but I don't know if like his actual plastic is as heavy and equitable to like those old 12-inch Marvel Legends. So I'd be curious to see.
But remember, like when 12-inch Marvel Legends came out, they were around like $50 to $60. I think the most expensive one was the Hulk because he was just bigger. I think he was like 80, like 70 or 80 for him.
Yep.
So what's really weird, and maybe they'll pack it in later. He does not have like anything from Black Panther.
True.
Like I would think if you're going to reuse it, like reuse different parts, as a Super Adaptoid, I would think that would be a part that you use. Maybe like you can interchange the hands, and it'll be Black Panther hands. I don't know.
A claw or something. Yeah.
See. Yeah, the claw hands. But I mean, it's something new, technically. But I want to see more. I do want to see like what the price range is because I would like the army build these, but I want to see a little bit more of like what the pricing is going to be on these before I can say yes, I'll get multiples of these.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime you're army building, you gotta see what the price is going to be and what's going to cost. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But there you go. Oh, he needs his wings. Sure, they'll probably put wings on him because there is a peg hole in that back of this 12-inch Captain America body. So they'll probably, if they do packing wings, they can probably pack it in as well because there's a plug hole for the shield on the back. And then there was a tease for HasLab this year. A lot of people are saying it could be Giant Man. Some want a Quinjet. I'm going with Fin Fang Foom. That is my guess.
I would guess nothing vehicle related. Based on last year's situation, I can't imagine they'd put a vehicle out. It's got to be a character or think of whom Giant Man, like you said, something that's a character that's not a vehicle.
Exactly. We'll go over one last piece before we wrap it up for the night. I know y'all are super excited about it, so I'm going to bring it up. Toddy announced Flash movie Batmobile. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I have to see more. Honestly, I have to see more on it.
Yep. Agreed.
It's a Batmobile. Is it going to be able to? And see, the thing is, with his figures, like even though they're 7 inches, that cockpit might be really small, and this is only going to really work if you have the '89 Batman.
Yep.
Like, there's really no other Batman that drove this. Oh, and Stride, no, this Batmobile is not going to be able to fit 2 people. I can tell you that right now. This is probably just a 1-seater. There's no way this Batmobile is going to be able to fit 2 people in it. Go through these comments real quick here. Plastic Thunder says, given the Disney Plus Nick Fury's groceries and Hasbro seem to go pretty aggressive with making new Skrull figures, I think Giant Man with a Skrull head as a stretch goal makes sense. Yeah, it could be. Grace says Hasbro will wait on vehicles till they learn what others cost them at. Don says, what about some kind of modular dio piece? I don't think that's the way they'll go. I think it's going to be it would either have to be a figure or a vehicle. Seeing from what happened last year, I think they'll probably lean more to a figure. It would be surprising if they go with another vehicle, but I think a figure would be more towards what I would think they would head to, like Avenger wise. If it's a Quinjet, that'd be surprising. Hopefully, it would get the backing that it needs. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because as a community, we're kind of a little bit fickle as well too. So like one thing you always want, but then when we see the rest of it, it's like, no, I'm not. I'm out.
Well put.
King Blackball says that Skrull Queen is lazy, very lazy. And I saw him about, and he also says that he probably has accessories talking about the Super Adaptoid. Abner says, I get it. I just think a lot more people would have gotten the pack if there was updated Spider-Woman like they did with Silk. Probably. I think the pack's still going to sell well just because the Super Skrull in there. The Spider-Woman, just look at the kind of like the Goons pack that went up for sale on GameStop with Mr. Negative. That's going to sell because you get some extra goons. You can always do whatever you want with Mr. Negative, but you get some extra goons in there. I think we lost him. Here, I think he's back. Timmy there? Can't hear you if you're there. You may have to drop out and drop back in. Plastic Thunder says, hate to say it, but I see them giving us a whole lot of reuse with the Secret Invasion stuff and saying, being thankful you get a scroll head. Yeah, she's a straight repack. Yeah, I understand. King Blackwell says, I just need to get in hand and decide. And that's me. Yeah, I want to see a little bit more before I say yes to how many. Like I said, 2 would be fine for me. If it comes with some great pieces, then I'll probably get more, but 2 would be fine for now. Greg says Hasbro needs to re-release those scroll builders. Yeah, that'd be cool. King Blackwell says, I'll get the super diff. I hate it, then I'll definitely sell it. I did read that comment. Abner said, big miss on Scroll Cream. They should have used a new pinless double jointed female mold. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And welcome Plastic Thunder. And everybody else who came in. Vicman D. Santiago, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. So yeah, we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and wrap it up from there. But yeah, thank you everybody who came out tonight to hang out with us. I appreciate it, very much. So thank you for everybody who, like I said, who hit me up during the week. I really do thank you. You all are very awesome. Oh, Tim said his laptop died. Sorry, Tim. Yeah, let's see. There was a ton more comments that came through. I'll read these real quick. Don says the Batmobile will be $8. It'll be cheaply made, but a good background piece for Mezco Batman. Very true. Greg says big questions are what accessories are with it and how many figs of what size will fit. See, that's a question you have to ask yourself. Like, if it can fit a Mezco figure in there, then you know you're good. But like I said, it's only going to really work for 89 Batman. Stratton says maybe 112. And J Tree says hope Mezco 89 fits that Batmobile. That's what I think we're all hoping at this point. Everybody who ordered it, I think, is hoping for that. Abnugler says HasLab Jarvis the Butler figure. That'd be a great one. Jeremy J says you're crazy if you don't think 89 Batman is coming. I've seen the Tidy Mac 12-inch already announced. Oh yeah, you know he's going. Jeremy, yeah, you know handle it. Flabo says Tadith, the House of McFarlane will produce that 89 Batman. Where it says Bats, Catwoman, Penguin, Joker, Bath of Alfred. I think it'll be a bath of maybe somebody from Batman Returns, like one of the big joke, like one of those penguin, like those clown goons or something like that. Chris Daughtry says, Dante, didn't you say you work in IT? I recently returned to industry myself. Yes, I do work in IT. Oh, welcome back, Chris. I hope you do enjoy it. I love doing IT. I love fixing things, computer issues. I love it. I love just knowing the ins and outs and how to do certain things. It looks like Tim's back.
Love it. I love it.
I can hear myself, Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hi.
Hey, there you go. Let's see. Shrine says, thanks for the stream. You're welcome. King Blackwell says, good to have you back. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nero says, good show, great guest, and thanks for making me spend money. Have a nice week. Oh, you're welcome, Nero. Anything we can do to help you spend some money. King Blackwell says, I better get a Max Shrek. That'll probably be your Build-A-Figure. Or he'll be one of the figures inside the Make a Build-A-Figure. So Dom says, I'll buy a Max Shrek. All right, folks. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you all coming out, hanging with us. Like I said, I'm going to take a little month off. Do a little refreshing, revamping a little bit. Not big changes, some little stuff that's going on. And then I'll come back the first week of April, and we'll have a good time. Chris says, Darth Brett says a Bob Lagoon or Lieutenant Eckhart would be sweet. Yes. Chris says, do you have any industry certs? I got the CompTIA trifecta, and I'm working on my CCNA. No, I don't have any certifications, unfortunately. It's weird. Like I've been working in IT and have no certifications, no degree. So I just kind of came up into it. Greg says, very fun stream. It's always great when a creator like Gridiron is open to answering questions with just chalk. Yes, it is. It's always fun. Don says, coming back for my birthday. Oh yeah, for you, Dom, anything.
Anything, Dom. Anything.
Jordan from Canada says, appreciate you, Dante, Tim, and Infinity Equation. Strong, fire. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you, Jordan. Thank you. You too, Chris. You take care as well. So don't forget to come back on Sunday. We will have IE creators and Mike Heiss, aka High School Creations, will be joining us. And he will be talking about his Walt XD Kickstarter. And we'll be talking about some other stuff in the creative realm as well, too. So please join us on Sunday at 3 o'clock. I did not change the time on the schedule, but I will be changing it after the show. I will be putting the links for Gridiron, Instagram, and their website and description below as well. So please go check them out. They have some great stuff that they're putting out. As you can see, Mark was gracious enough to tell you what they're doing and gave you a little bit of his background and see. And it's a family-owned business, so you're helping a family build something very, very nice and beautiful, for stuff that we sorely need in the 1/12 scale range. Avenger 78 says, great night, great chat. Chuffed to see you guys come. Some reading that right. Chuffed to see you guys come back. Have a fantastic weekend, all. Thank you. You as well. Vicman D. Santiago says, nice to see you, Dante. Been following for a while from Mexico. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Professor says, Dante, glad to have you back, man. It was a great stream. Love and appreciate you and disemboweled, man. Thank you. Oh, we'll give Dom his happy birthday. We'll get Dom in April. We'll get Dom. Tim, you got anything before we get out of here?
Nothing. Just again, thank you so much, people, for watching. Sorry for my technical difficulties. They're not here, but again, greatly appreciate having Gridiron Studios here tonight. And again, we're very thankful for all of you who tune in and watch every week. We appreciate our community. It's a very special people. Dante, sir, we appreciate you as well, man. So happy we're going to be doing shows in the future. It just shows that, again, this channel is very important and people appreciate it. As far as my channel goes, This About Action Figures, new toy hunt was put out tonight. Check it out. Marvel Legends, 50% off. So check out your targets this weekend. Build that Khonshu. Dante, I love the Khonshu, man. I finally have it. It's fantastic. Please show because I can't. Thank you, sir. This thing is gigantorous. It's immense. It's so freaking cool. One of the best Build-A-Figures they've done. Also, all the figures in that wave are incredible as well. So check your targets, people, if you're playing a long game like me, to pick those up. And also, I did put out a review recently on This About Action Figures of the Orb. Marvel Legends The Orb looks so great. And also, we in the future, next few days, we do have coming out soon another review from that wave. So check it out.
There you go. We got a couple more. DJ 5000 says, welcome back, Dante. Thank you. Johnny Reno says, good show. Jordan from Canada says, toy people love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love back at you. Dom says, late April. Plenty of time to celebrate my birth. Let's start now. And Gray says, I don't know Tim let his laptop die before the end. He gets a demerit for that.
Hey, I've gotten plenty of demerits over the years. This is one of many.
But thank you all. Be back Sunday. And if you're a wrestling fan, AEW Revolution is this Sunday. It's going to probably be a 5-hour pay-per-view. Well, I'm not streaming it because it's on Sunday and I got to go work on Monday. So, yeah, they can kick rocks on that one.
Kick rocks, Tony Khan.
Yeah, near AEW is this weekend, this Sunday, pay-per-view. I'll probably be watching it through YouTube, through another channel. So I can't, I don't have the fortitude to stay up 5 hours for matches that you just threw on there just for the fun of it.
Yeah, way too long. And to their credit, this is one of the only ones of the year where it's a work night. Typically Sundays, they do a Sunday show. It's on a holiday weekend where a lot of people are off on a Monday. This is one of the few, for whatever reasons, they put out on a work night. So it is what it is. It's check out the spoilers. Watch on YouTube the next day if you have to.
Exactly. All right, thank you all. Wow, we still get more. Greg says beer clinks all. Dom says kick rocks and blame WW for. Four Feather says love the streams and chatting with everybody here in the group chat. Oh, thank you, Four Feathers.
Thank
Love
you.
too. DJ 5000 says spoiler: Moxie will bleed. Doesn't Moxie always bleed? Like he just bleeds any time. Like somebody just tap, like flick him in the head. And he just. Ugh.
That's
Bleed
his thing.
myself. Exactly, that's his thing. All right, folks. Have a great weekend. We will see you Sunday at 3 p.m. for IE creators. Other than that, there will be a state of the IE probably sometime next week. I would do live. So just kind of give you where everything's going to probably be going for the future. So hey, yeah, you all have a great weekend. Oh, Nero, you living a nice life, living in Hawaii. 3 p.m. start time. All right, y'all have a great weekend. Have a nice night.